Are investigating a fight on a flight that landed near Los Angeles.
Cell phone video shows two men beating each other while a flight attendant tries to break them up. The two men can be seen falling on top of the female flight attendant until passengers help her up and stop the fight. A man from northern L.A. County has been arrested, but cops are on the hunt for a few others involved. The flight was heading to Burbank from Texas, and the two started fighting Sunday as soon as the plane landed. What caused the violence?
I need Budget A1 live in the third hour, no matter how we do it, please.
Los Angeles.
You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
Sheridan Auto Tech is special because of the man behind the business. Kevin Hopkins, the owner, is honorable and will never sell you anything you don't need. He will take care of you like one of his own. He has thousands of loyal customers and has been in business more than 20 years. He cares about you. 55-7242 on Colfax. Just
Have a seat right here. No, over here, Mark, please. Oh, over here. You got headphones.
Here's your headphones.
Dan, show them the mic.
This is your mic, George. Okay. On, when you're talking, off, otherwise you get a little bit of feedback and stuff. So it doesn't have to be for everything. Go hit it whenever you want.
You want me to turn it on?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Just on, off. Yeah. Not like you don't have to do it like for every word. You can just like say if you're going to talk. You know, like that. Headphones should be good.
Are we up?
Two Hansen or go online today at HansenPlane.com. Just because you hear all kinds of commercials from lenders about low rates, good terms, and
Okay, let's see.
doesn't mean they're all the same.
They're, half the chairs here don't work, man. That's why I'm. You know what? Grab that one over there, though. That's got to be better. Largest media conglomerate in the world, and our chairs.
I know. I know the iHeart thing.
Old. Sean, are most of the calls I was going to ask you, are they consumer or company, or is it a mixture?
Consumers.
Okay.
I don't think I've gotten any companies yet.
Let's try to make sure people know that you represent that side too. You know?
Hey, George Charles.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
What do you do?
I'm an attorney.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
In recovery, right?
What's that?
I'm in recovery. I belong to AA, attorneys and all.
Are you really? What kind of work did you do?
I did mostly dispute resolution, conflict.
It's not such a bad case.
Yeah, and a lot of reasons.
You know, my email is blowing up. People have been asking me, what are you doing, Tom? I've noticed you lost a ton of weight. And people
Just push me out of the way, George, if you need to grab that. It's actually,
Oh.
Is this okay for volume?
The natural way to get back to optimum health is to battle nature, replenish your hormones, and you replenish them the natural way. One of the most natural ways I have found is BioT Medical. BioTE Medical.
Should I be doing anything with the headphones yet?
Yeah, turn the volume up.
Oh,
maybe.
Or it might not be plugged in there. Let me check it out.
Placed under the skin, it's not
Extra water somewhere.
Absolutely.
oh, no, I got it.
Dan, would you grab him
Yep.
the water?
Grab mine, and I'll get you one later. This one's cold. Okay. Here you go. Cold water.
You have to fight nature. BioT Medical helps you do that. You'll be energetic, healthy, happy. I'm telling you from personal experience. When you check it out, you'll thank me. BioTMedical.com. BioTE Medical.com.
Don't miss out on amazing Memorial Day holiday tire specials at your local Sears Auto Center. And take advantage of our best tire prices. Now through Memorial Day, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th free on in-stock tires only with the purchase of an installation package. And don't forget to ask about our free oil change offer. See associate for details at your local Sears Auto Center. We put your life in drive. Exclusions may apply. Installation packages include 6-month, 1-year, or lifetime alignment. Offer valid through June 3rd.
Is the Troubleshooter Show.
Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi,
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. We are here to solve your problems, answer your questions, and take your complaints. Today we have a special guest. Our attorney, Owen, is in for Sean Olson. I'm sorry, Owen. I'm talking about Owen from the other day, by the way. He emailed me. Owen was a guy from Fort Collins. He emailed me and talked about, he was talking about websites and WordPress. Anyway, so we have Sean Olson in from the Olson Law Firm, Employment Law, and we want to take any questions you may have when it comes to employment law. What are your rights? What are your rights? What are your responsibilities? And whether you're an employee or an employer. Okay, now, I also want to talk about a case we've been following, and I will tell you, I am amazed that George Bentley is here. I give him kudos just for being here. One of my hallmarks is fairness. If a person owns and runs a business and wants to talk on the phone and address a problem, they can come and address a problem anytime. And I don't edit what they say. I will tell you this. George Bentley, in my opinion, did a disservice to this woman. I'll explain the case. You can make up your own mind. I also believe we were misled by his company, and we have that on tape. And we've also talked to people involved in Medicaid who said none of that is true. So we'll talk about that. But I will say this. This guy, George Bentley, did not call and ask to meet us before the show. He did not ask that we only submit questions to him in writing. He did not ask what we're going to talk about. He did not put any conditions on this. He walked in that door and sat down and is ready to go live. I am freaking amazed.
I am truly impressed. George, I didn't think you were going to show, quite frankly.
I will tell you that. No, seriously. I'm serious now. I think that this case sucks, and I think the industry sucks, your whole industry, sadly overpriced. But I believe that I can't believe that you are here. I mean, this guy's got balls. This guy is amazing.
Well,
okay?
hang on.
No, seriously.
I respect you, Tom.
No, I have your, we have your HIPAA releases from her, so you can talk. Now, I want to recap this because this is very important. And Sean, I want to take employment questions, problems, and complaints as well, and this is always a popular topic. So I want to remind you, we are not doing a single topic show. The whole show won't be beating up on George or asking George to talk about his tubs. We also will talk to Sean Olson as well. But truly, Mark, I have never had anyone, have you ever had anyone, without any conditions whatsoever, without ever talking to us once, come in here and sit down live on the air like this?
No, I love it. I love every bit of it. You owe me lunch.
Oh, no. I never bet you lunch. I never bet you lunch.
Yes, you did.
No, I
said. Dan, did he not bet me lunch?
I'll take the lunch.
I said he wouldn't be here. I never bet you lunch.
All right, we'll listen to the tape.
Oh, I'm so tired of you. You know, Mark, you did say I'll bet you lunch. You did say that.
That is a...
But I didn't say okay.
I made the offer. You accepted the offer by not responding to the offer.
All right. Okay.
I got to know, though. I recap it, but, George, I got to tell you, I went out to this woman's house. She is so big.
Let me recap it.
Go ahead.
It's not fair to start.
Fair enough.
Okay, so we get a call from a woman. She's upset. She hasn't taken a shower in months or whatever.
Years.
Okay.
Years.
She said she needed a walk-in tub. She called Bentley Tubs. An occupational therapist said they did recommend a walk-in tub. Occupational therapists do this, or doctors do this in order to get it paid by Medicaid if you're poor, or if you're on Medicaid, and that's not unusual. Okay, so when they approve it, I must say that Medicaid does not take a specific tub and say you must get this one, and neither does the occupational therapist. But she called George Bentley. According to her, she was sold this tub, and when it was done, she decided she couldn't use it because she's too big. And she wondered, why did they put in a tub I can't use? This walk-in tub, the entire reason for a walk-in tub is because she's disabled. Most people get walk-in tubs because they can't step up over a tub, or a walk-in shower is unsafe. Walk-in tubs, we've said this before, there is nothing wrong with a walk-in tub. In fact, there is nothing wrong with this walk-in tub. I've said that 100 times. However, in my opinion, it is totally inappropriate. Totally.
Oh, no.
Why? Because we went there. She cannot fit in it, and even if we lifted her into it over that 8-inch lift,
that's it.
And with her leg dragging, but she's too wide. You measured her. She literally can't get.
We measured
through.
her from every angle.
Now,
and if she could get in, George, she couldn't close the door.
Now, I watch you on Colorado and Company. You're on Colorado's Best. I told you you were on my show years ago, and I said, listen. You say you pride yourself in selecting the proper appliance for the individual because they're not all the same. True. You have some that have giant openings. You have some that have smaller openings. You say you pick the right one. I can't believe, George, that you would look at this installation. Or who was the other guy that we talked to on the phone from Bentley's office? Well, who was?
Oh, what was his name? Troy.
I can't believe that
Troy kept telling me, "Oh, our hands are tied. We can't do anything."
Here's what I said.
Blah, blah.
First of all, no matter what, just take it. We're not denying there's a walk-in tub. There's nothing wrong with the tub. It is inappropriate.
Even the installation, I won't argue about.
It is like selling running shoes to a person in a wheelchair. It is totally inappropriate. She can't use it. That's it in a simple nutshell. Very simple nutshell. So we ask your guy, can you help her out? No, our hands are tied. This is a state-approved project. We must get authorization from Medicaid to fix it. Wrong. That is wrong. And I verified that with Medicaid because they wouldn't talk about this case. But I said in general, if a Medicaid contractor, approved contractor, puts in a walk-in tub and that walk-in tub is not appropriate and they want to change it out or they want to fix it, would you hold them back? Do they need your authorization? Absolutely not. The only time they need our authorization if we're going to spend more money. That's the only time they need our authorization. Period. Done. I want to know why, George. Sure. Why your guy refused to help her out.
Sure. Happy to.
Okay. Go ahead.
Can I explain the Medicaid benefit and how that works? It's a rule.
Go ahead.
Under Medicaid guidelines.
Go ahead.
Only Medicaid-approved contractors can do that work.
We know that.
Okay. An individual has to get approved under Medicaid,
right.
And then they have to go through a process of getting approved under a rule that's called a home modification benefit.
Right.
Okay? Under that rule, the state will pay up to $14,000 specifically and only to do modifications that help that individual stay in their home and out of a facility.
Okay.
So it's not driven by what the consumer wants, and it's not driven by what some contractor might want to sell. It's driven by a process of Medicaid determining what they're going to fund to do for a specific individual.
Okay.
So the way it works is once somebody's approved, then the state will send an occupational therapist out.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who are going to assess the environment, the customer, whatever it is, and they're going to make recommendations. So, for example, somebody may have called your show, right? Maybe they needed a ramp. Maybe they needed different types of things done to their home.
Right.
That all comes under that single benefit. Then, once the OT has said this is what is going to be bid on the job, then up to 26 Medicaid-approved contractors can bid that job.
Mm-hmm.
But they can only bid specifically and exactly what the OT recommends.
The OT did not pick out that tub.
The OT recommended a walk-in tub.
Not that tub.
That's correct.
Now, do you think the OT, if she knew that this person could not literally use that tub, they would recommend it?
Well, and there's the question. Well, why did she recommend it?
George, so you have no responsibility.
I have a responsibility.
You have no responsibility that she can't fit in that tub. You're telling me if an OT recommended running shoes for a crippled woman, that would be fine with you. She recommended a walk-in tub. There are plenty of walk-in tubs you do have that would fit this woman.
Sure, and the cost is different. They have different...
Well, okay, so...
You went out and met her. You saw this woman in her own house and sold her that tub.
This is ludicrous. Hold on. He said they approved up to this amount. This is the only tub that would fit those specifications. Even though she can't use it, it's the only thing they approved?
No, Tom. I'm telling you that what the OT recommended was a walk-in tub.
Right.
The real question is this woman has complained to us.
What's the real question?
The real question is why.
She can't use the tub.
Exactly. It's the OT's responsibility.
So why'd you sell her a tub she couldn't use? It's a simple question.
I didn't sell her anything, Tom.
Yes, you did.
Did you go to her house and look at her and meet her?
I did a survey. Yes, I did.
And then you said, I'm going to sell her that tub with that small door on it.
No, I didn't. In fact,
oh my God. Who sold her the tub, George? Who picked that tub for her?
The state said
the
OT recommended a walk-in tub.
They did not pick that tub. Who picked that tub? That tub with that opening and that width and that girth and that depth. Who picked it?
The walk-in tub is specified by the state, 30 30 by 52, whatever it is.
But not the door opening and not the lip. You have some with bigger doors and you have some with no lip that she has to walk over.
And I have people the size of this lady that use the tub that's in her house, Tom.
She can't use the tub.
Okay.
So, George, you're
she's
saying,
making it up. She doesn't want to use her tub.
You're saying because they approved it, you had a right to put that in and screw it if she can't use it.
No, I'm telling you, Tom, because the state gave us the specification. That's all a contractor can bid. And we weren't the only ones who bid that job.
What do you mean that's all that you can bid?
You cannot bid to do anything on a job that is Medicaid funded if it is not approved and recommended by an occupation.
You could have sold her a different tub.
George, would they have objected?
Should have.
George, no.
And by the way,
why do you keep saying the occupational therapist? They did not pick out that tub. You have other tubs that would have worked, other walk-in tubs. They did not pick out a tub. They said a walk-in tub. I can't believe in good conscience you would sell her a tub looking at her. I know she can't fit in it. He knows she can't fit in it. We have video showing she can't fit in it.
She can't even lift her feet over the 8-inch threshold at the bottom, George. You met her.
I'm not asking whether or not it was approved. It was approved. I am saying they did not approve that particular tub. You have other tubs you could have installed that she could have fit in, but you didn't. You know why? Because your profit margin would have been lower because you said it yourself. They would only go to a certain price.
She would have exceeded her benefit, Tom, but that's beside the point.
Okay, then you should have told her. Or you should have told them, what good is taking a benefit if the benefit doesn't benefit her? What good is spending Medicaid dollars on something she can't use?
Tom, I hear you, but what happened?
I don't think you do. You keep saying the occupational therapist recommended. No, she did not. They recommended and approved up to 14 grand.
No.
They never, ever specified a tub, period. You sold her something she can't use. You can't get around that, George. You sold her something she can't use. Let's come right back. I want to throw up.
I respect you for being here, but you're full of shit. You're full of shit. That's what you are. Full of shit. That you fucking made money on that thing and you love it. You could have said, this is not appropriate. I'm not going to sell her something she can't use. God damn it, if that was my mother, I'd kick your ass. That is bullshit. It's bullshit, that's what it is. It's bullshit. You know, this can't fucking use that tub, and he spent 14 grand of Medicaid's money. And he's proud of it because an occupational therapist recommended it. Pot shit. The government is inefficient. You confirmed it. And you went right along and padded your pockets because of it. Well, don't fucking hide behind that.
What? Hide behind it?
Yeah, hide behind it. She fucking can't use it. Give me one reason you should sell that to her.
I didn't sell it.
She can't. You didn't fucking sell it. You did sell it. Did you make money on it?
No.
Did you? Oh, you made no money on it.
We broke even.
Oh, yeah, you broke even. I'm so sorry you broke even. God damn it. How much of that tub cost you? How much of that tub cost you? Show me.
We got about $3,900 in the shell of the tub. We probably got close to $4 grand in labor at this point, and repairs. We replaced her floor. We redid drywall for her. We did a whole lot
All
of stuff.
this for a tub she can't use, though, George. That's the main problem.
Why
is this tub in there?
But
why?
Number one, I have never seen the lady move. I've never seen her get up off her stuff.
You said that you picked the appropriate appliance for the individual.
That's
you
Bentley
said that.
Bass. That's Bentley Bass. This is not a Bentley Bass project. I did not go out and sell this woman anything.
Who sold it to her?
You said.
Who sold it to her?
You said.
They did not pick out that tub, George.
No, they did not.
Who
The
picked it out?
state told us what to bid, just like they told every other contractor.
To bid on a walk-in tub, not one that she can't fit into. There's no way the state said, bid this tub that she can't get into,
I understand
George.
that, and that's an inefficiency. That's an inefficiency in the way that...
It would have been... You
know what I'm pissed off about, Tom?
We're wasting money. Just say it.
We're goddamn occupational therapist went out there and met this woman, evaluated her, assessed her, saw how she moved, saw that your people showed up and
then what, George? Then what?
Tom, I didn't do that.
Okay, but listen, she did not see the tub.
She asked for the tub.
Not that tub. You keep saying that, goddammit. She didn't ask for that tub.
I don't know what she asked for. I wasn't involved. I was not involved.
Who picked that particular tub? That occupational therapist did not write down that model number. Who wrote it down?
That is the model we always use for Medicaid jobs. That is the product that is approved for Medicaid that we install on every Medicaid job. And when an OT recommends a walk-in bathtub, that's what we're going to bid. I am not going to go out like I do with Bentley Baths and go through an assessment and an evaluation with somebody and determine, okay, here's what you got to do. You know what I would have done, Tom? You know what's crazy?
What you should do is make this right because she doesn't have any fucking
I have
money
been
left.
trying to make this
What
right.
does that mean? Not trying. Just take out and put a better tub in. And I'll sing your fucking praises. Yeah. Put a better tub in for her. She can't use it.
Or a shower. Something she can use, man.
Look, I get you want to blame me for this. I get that.
You're the one that was there. You're the charlatan that took the fucking money for something she can't use. That's right. That's right. It's government money, so you don't give a shit. Oh, we just bid the job, even though we knew damn well she couldn't.
We didn't know damn well. And let me tell you something.
Never. If you didn't, then you should be selling those. You're saying if it goes through Medicaid, it's not Bentley Bath. It's different. You should not even.
So telling it goes through Medicaid are treated different than if they went through Bentley Bath?
You should not be selling those things. If you can't fit the bill and give her something she needs, you shouldn't be selling it, even if they said it was okay.
Just understand that all this information you're talking about came to light after the fact. She's complaining. It started out with, we did extra work, did an extra tile ending because the guy did not.
It's her fault. That's what he said.
No, I'm not saying
it's
it's your fault. I'm telling you that this is information that we didn't have.
That she couldn't fit in the tub.
That's right, and it's the OT.
Your guy went out there and saw her. He would.
I went out there and saw her.
She's like 68 inches in circumference.
Lift her legs,
No,
George.
no, I never saw. She gets around. She's on a walker.
Oh,
She
my
moves around.
God,
Tom,
George.
I did not do that. Can I tell you how many thousands of people I work with that get around on walkers and they're barely mobile? I got people in wheelchairs that can use walking tubs. It depends.
Right. Listen, I urge you to watch us online because we do more talking between the breaks than we do on the air because I can't say the words I did to him. Okay, I still have to say I respect him for not walking out. I swear to God. I do. No, listen, I want to say something, okay? I want to be fair, but I'm going to still give my opinion. I am not unbiased here. I'm not objective. I am not a journalist. I am pissed off. Okay, so keep that in mind. I'm not pretending to be objective. I'm not pretending to be objective. Mr. Bentley said during the break, you can hear it online, he said, Medicaid approved this job, and every time I do a Medicaid job, this is the tub we specify, this is the job we do to fit within the Medicaid budget. That is the tub they always specify, and he said they went out and approved it, this amount of money, and that's the tub he puts in. I said, she can't use the tub. He says, that basically is not our problem. They approved this job as it is, and we installed it. I say that Bentley Baths went out there, they saw that there was $14,000 in government money ready to take, and they didn't give a damn that she couldn't use it. That's my feeling. My feeling is he doesn't give a damn she can't use it. He keeps saying it was approved by the state. The state did not come out and approve that particular tub. They approved a project for a walk-in tub. It is Bentley Baths. They're the ones that chose the walk-in tub and put it in to meet that budget. I believe him when he says the other tubs would have exceeded the budget. I believe him because of his profit and his overhead and his business and his insurance. I believe it. So I think he should have done one of two things. Listen, ma'am, this tub that you really need because you can't lift your leg more than 2 inches off the ground, and because you're so big, you really need this tub, but Medicaid can't pay for this tub. Therefore, I think we're wasting our time and the government's money, or he should have just done it out of charity. But don't put something in that is totally freaking useless. Okay, George.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah, I just said what I think. Say what you think. I'll shut up. Think.
If I had the information that you have, and I could have coached her to call the state and do something different, then I would have done it differently. I would have. But I didn't know she could.
You went out and
wait, let him talk. Let him talk. Go ahead.
I saw her sitting on her sofa. and I saw that she's large. And let me tell you something. This is the truth. I've got a lot of people that are as large as this lady that use this tub. That does not mean...
She can't move.
Tom, I didn't know that. I did not evaluate this woman, her mobility.
You brag about evaluating people for their particular appliance. I have it on tape.
This is an Empower project, okay? As many times...
If it's Medicaid money, it doesn't... It's not Bentley Bath because it's Medicaid money. That's what you're saying. You basically said during the break, if it's Medicaid, I don't actually go out and evaluate and do what I say in the commercials.
Exactly right.
But you went out there and met her.
Don't you feel a responsibility that you took government money and installed something that is no use to anyone?
Yeah, I think that's a travesty.
Oh, my God. I feel like I'm on a Saturday Night Live skit.
Put a tub in she can use.
Just wait. I want to take a comment here. Keith, go ahead. What's your comment?
Hey, Tom, it's Keith. So I just want to know, he's hiding behind the occupational therapist, the government. Are you going to fix it or not? I mean, you're going to stand behind your name. Go fix the damn thing.
We have done it. We were out there yesterday.
His hands are tied.
Just wait. Let him talk. Let him talk. Okay, I'm pissed off too, Mark.
Yeah.
So go ahead. He wants to know, are you going to fix it?
I have been trying to fix it.
What does that mean?
That means we've been talking to the state about what they're going to do about it.
You mean you want them to give you more money so you can put in a wider tub?
No, we want them to decide what they want to do about it. It's the state project, right?
Listen, George, I think that if this was any other company, they would have said, you know what, we shouldn't have installed that tub, and they would have installed, and they would do it on their dime. I got to tell you, I can't believe that you're hiding behind Medicaid. You are. You're saying they approved this project. It's not. It's out of our hands, you're saying. You're the one who wrote the model number down for that tub after meeting that woman. Your salesman did. He saw the woman, met the woman, and wrote down that model number, which is inappropriate. Even if Medicaid approved it, it's inappropriate.
And all I can tell you is, we've got a conversation with the state right now. What do you want us to do? What do you want to do to fix it? And it's not about who's paying for what.
George, there's nothing to fix. The tub is fine.
Right.
It operates.
That's right.
It's a tub. It works. It's just inappropriate.
I understand.
Do you know how many government contractors do this to the government? The government says, you're approved for a walk-in tub. That doesn't mean that you can put something in there and take the government's money that she can't use. At least I think common sense would tell you that. Alex, who are you, sir? Ma'am. Who are you, ma'am or sir? Who is this, Alex?
This is Alex.
Yes.
My wife works for Colorado Access, which does all the approving for Medicaid. And so there's no more money. Once you use your money, like your $14,000, that's all you get for your lifetime. So if you moved or you're kicked out of your house, you're allotted no more money from Medicaid.
So are you there, Alex?
Yeah.
Wait, I want to ask you something, Alex. So what do you think about this? They approved the project. It went up to $14,000. He specified, or his salesman specified this tub and installed it. I want to make this clear. The installation is fine. The tub is in good working order. That's our opinion. She'll dispute that, but I think she's just mad. There's nothing wrong with the tub itself, but I believe it's inappropriate. What do you think?
I think you're right. I think it's inappropriate. I mean, it's not like they go to their house, they recommend that she should get a walk-in tub. They don't pick a specific model. I think the contractor should have picked the right model for her to use it and not waste the government's money.
I think the contractor should have too, because that's what he prides himself at. When he goes out to a home, he speaks to the homeowner. I remember doing the interviews, and he says, now we make sure we pick something appropriate for you. We have tubs that are for people in wheelchairs. We have tubs for people who are bigger. We have tubs for people who are smaller. He even talked about his first customer being smaller.
Did you not even ask her if she could walk when you went out there, George?
No, I didn't. Well, actually, she was telling me she gets around on a walker, but she didn't. She didn't.
Maybe you saw a different woman. This woman barely got up. She had to have two people come over to actually, so I could get video.
George, she literally can't fit in the seat. She can't fit in the seat. Okay. Did you do the initial sale, or did the other guy?
I did the initial survey, but that was for a shower or something different. She then decided she wanted a walk-in tub and went back and got her OT to change her recommendation to a walk-in tub. Never went out and spoke to her about that. And again, that is...
You don't see that's a shortfall in the operation?
I do. I totally do.
With you, I mean. With you.
With anybody.
No,
yes,
I'm talking about if you get another Medicaid job, do you think you might ask if they can fit in the tub?
Yeah.
Or if they can walk?
And do you think I've got issues with the state bucking up against
Stop blaming the state, George. They approved 14 grand. You're the one that took the money. Don't be angry at them. They approved 14 grand to help this woman, and it did not help her. And guess what we're going to do, George? I know you're an attorney. We want to sue your ass, and we're going to. You know why? Because we think it was totally inappropriate, and we think that a jury will see it our way, and we want to sue your ass for this woman. Right?
I don't see why you just don't fix it, man. I honest to God don't. How much could it cost to have your laborers out there?
But you have to understand, all right? Maybe you don't, okay?
What don't I understand?
The contract is with the state, okay? That's it.
So you can't go out and fix it now?
I can go out and fix it,
okay.
But the state has to approve this.
Man. Wait a minute. What do they... Hold on.
They need to approve more money.
Wait. What do they have to approve?
No, they don't have to approve. They can't approve
What do they have to approve?
And by the way...
I want to hear them. What do they have to approve, George?
Removing the tub. And doing something different.
Because you got paid for that tub. Therefore, if you change it, you got to get their approval.
If I'm not charging anybody for it, it doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is, an OT made this recommendation. That's what, in our hands, that's it. That's all we can bid.
George, listen, your hands are not tied. The OT...
And we were out there yesterday, Tom.
The occupational therapist made a recommendation for a walk-in tub. If I said to the occupational therapist, by the way, ma'am, did you know the tub they're putting in right now, it's not done yet, this woman cannot use. She can't get in it. She can't fit in it. She can't use it. What do you think the OT would have said?
Oh, well, I better not recommend that, right?
But why wouldn't you do that?
Because I didn't do the assessment, Tom. I wasn't even involved in that process.
You know what, George, really? You're sounding really...
I swear you just said you went out there and did the initial assessment.
Survey. But you're sounding like a charlatan, like, hey, they approved 14 grand. It's not my fault she can't use what I put in there. You're the one that put it in. You could have said to the state, I can put a walk-in tub in, but for that price, she's not going to be able to use it. That would have been appropriate.
You know, in a perfect world, I would have assessed her. I would have made her get
Why didn't you assess her? You assess other customers?
Not with Medicaid Empower. I don't.
So when Medicaid recommends 14 grand, you always use this tub.
They don't recommend 14
grand. By the
way,
what if this woman was in a wheelchair? What would you have done? If she was in a wheelchair.
Okay, good scenario.
What would you have done if she was in a wheelchair?
Put in the same tub.
Just wait. What would you have done?
If the OT recommended...
if she recommended a walk-in tub, same circumstance, what would you have done for a woman in a wheelchair?
I would have asked her, can you stand? Can you take a step? Can you transition?
Why didn't you ask this woman that?
Because she gets around on a walker, Tom. She moves, right?
I didn't... hold on. I'll take Bill, Suzanne, on line 4, if you want to clear the line. Okay, I thought she was on line 4 and had it open, but I guess not. So let's
take a break.
We have to take a break. Okay, listen, you guys hear the scenario. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live at Troubleshooter.com. We'll be back with more.
That's what we're talking to the state about.
What does the state have to? You want the state to pay for it, right?
No, we're not even talking about money. We've been out there so many times trying to take care of this woman, right? And it is a travesty, and I believe it's a travesty. I, honest to God, did not know. Look, we put tile in on her floor. Here's how this got started.
George, she just needs a tub. I know she's got problems with the tile. She's got problems with the ramp. I looked at all this shit, and the ramp's not that good either, by the way. It's not great. Have you seen the fucking ramp?
I've seen it.
It's all crooked and all kinds of shit. It probably passed inspection. We're not even getting into that. It's the fact she can't bathe.
I understand.
Why can't you just pull that tub out and put another one in? What does Medicaid have to do with it?
Because the project was...
Okay. Can she hire someone to put a different tub in there right now? Well, then why won't you guys do it?
All I need to do is get clear of the state.
I don't understand that part. Okay, please explain it to me.
I know you don't.
Okay, then explain it. If I can go in there right now with a contractor and do it, why can't you guys?
because we want to be clear with the state about the fact that we did and we're done, okay? All inspections are done. We're clean with the state. Everything's good. Now,
George, it's amazing you guys just don't get this fixed. It's absolutely amazing. It is a travesty, and the problem is it's that poor woman that can't shower. I know she's a pain in the ass. I met her. I get it. There's no doubt about it. But it doesn't stop the fact she can't use her bathtub.
I understand.
Just get it fixed for her. That's it. No, you know what? Don't try. Just go fix it. Send your contractors over and get something she can use. She'd be happy with just putting a shower that she can roll into or do whatever.
I have been so on.
And if you went over there, you would have seen her fucking foot's this fat and it's crooked. She can't walk at all. She can't even, literally, she drags her feet when I watch her. They had to have 2 people over there last time because I wanted to make sure she couldn't get in the tub, and she tried. She physically can't get in and move her feet.
I get that.
Oh my God.
But I did not evaluate her.
Just fix it now, though. That's the part I'm not understanding.
Okay. So we have a conversation with state number 1. You can't answer any questions. You have to direct them to the state. That's for these comments about your hands are tired or whatever. That's,
Ruben, when did you look at it?
That's it. And for me to be talking about a specific customer, Medicaid customer, is not okay.
Well, let me tell you, we've got whatever HIPAA she
This is
wants
Ruben,
signed.
Handyman Matters. He's a licensed plumber contractor. And he went out and looked at the bath. He has comments. Is that going to be relevant for the show?
This is more of plumbing.
Yeah.
Okay, Ruben actually looked at Laura's bath.
That's fine. They want to come on and see you.
So he's on 6 if you want to talk to him.
Can of worms.
Even the whole entire job could be picked apart at every angle, but who gives a shit?
I'm not
all
picking
that
apart the job.
I know that. That's what this guy Ruben wants to do. It's how bad the plumbing is. I get that, but there's no purpose that you just don't go out there.
I'm not looking to pile it
Come
on.
out.
If that's what Ruben wants to do, I'm
No,
not.
I don't care about that either.
That and the permit.
So I have already started conversations with the state about we're going to pull it out and put in a shower, right? Or something. But can she get into a shower?
George,
is the
you know what?
question.
All right, okay.
Tom, she needs a bigger bath.
Look, and by the way, and listen, I know you can bullshit the ears off of people, but you're not going to bullshit me because we looked into your history, and I'm going to tell you, you have a keystone every time. You have a fucking keystone every time you go into a person's home that's not Medicaid, and you know you do. And I'm wondering, why don't you help this your fucking country, your company could take over the entire nation if all you did was undersold these other fucking bullshit rip-off artists because you don't have to make fucking $8 grand on every tub. You don't,
right.
and you can still get rich.
That's right. And
Why don't you try it?
I don't have the money. It's about advertising and marketing and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean tell me if we could do volume and invest in your company, you would do it?
Are you kidding me?
Mark, we want to get into business. I want to help people. I'm serious about helping
Let me tell you
people.
something, Tom. You dig into this and you look. I am as frustrated as you are. The state has told me what I can.
No, I'm not talking about the state now. I'm talking about all you guys that go out there and 18 grand these people. Look, I've looked at them.
It's crazy. It's absolutely.
You are just as crazy.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You charge just as much.
I don't. And
What is your average job, George?
13.5.
In the max is 14.
But 13.
No, it can be more than that.
No, with a private pay.
Yeah. We average.
With a private pay, what would it take to put in that one tub that has that giant door for the people in wheelchairs? What would that have cost?
Probably 13.5, 14. It depends on the bathroom. In a bathroom like this.
Why didn't you put that one in for her?
Too small. Her bathroom's too small. What needed to happen there was we needed to take her hallway, which is worthless, and bring that.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Okay, here's what's happening. We came across a case where a woman bought a tub, a walk-in tub. She was approved by Medicaid to do the home improvement. The home improvement that goes up to 14 grand is for people to stay in their homes and not go to nursing homes, okay? People use them for various things like ramps, widening doorways, and walk-in tubs. Medicaid pays for it. George Bentley Baths went out there and sold her a tub and a package for that price. The tub they put in my opinion, is inappropriate. Why? Why? Because it has an 8-inch lip at the bottom lip she can't step over, and it's obvious if you meet her, she's not faking. Also, she is so big and round, and we measured her, that she literally cannot fit through the door. And if she even did, if we could lift her up and put her in there, she couldn't fit in the seat.
She couldn't close the door if she got in there.
So I said, why did you do this? And they kept saying at Bentley Baths, whether it's George or his assistant or his supervisor, whatever, they say, our hands are tied, it's a Medicaid job, they approved this job, and we did what they approved. But they did not approve a specific tub. They don't approve a specific plan. They only approve the approved contractor to do it. Now, the approved contractor has leeway. So I asked George, why did you put... I'm wondering, how much do those big doors cost, like the people in the wheelchairs? She could have easily used that. She could have walked up, opened it, slid over, onto that seat. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, and he said it would have cost about $13,500 if I did that for a private party. And I said, well, if they approved around $14,000, why didn't you do it here? And he said, plain and simple, it wasn't big enough. The bathroom was not big enough to fit it. So we have a number of different variables here. First, he is saying, look, I hit the budget for Medicaid, and I sold her the tub that is approved for this project. We say it doesn't matter if it's approved, it's inappropriate. And the occupational therapist did not pick a specific tub. He is saying now that he was in the process of looking at this job again to see what he can do to improve it. And I asked, do you mean you want to get Medicaid to approve more money? And he said, no. We were looking at doing something different altogether.
Then why does Medicaid have to be involved?
Because he said, because Medicaid paid for this job to begin with, and he's the one that sold it, that if he goes in there and tears that out, it kind of looks like a con job. I mean, he sold something, and now he's going to take it out and replace it again, and he doesn't want any I don't know, any conflicts, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm just surmising this. He said, I need their approval because they paid for it. I don't know.
George, you got to get this lady.
Here, hold on.
Tom, I have Facebook comments.
Are you saying you're going to do it? I mean, is that it? Is that...
Okay, you got to use your mic, George. George, use your mic. And Suzanne's got Facebook comments. I want to take a few. What were you going to say, George?
I'm saying that we've had the conversation with the state. The issue is, again, and I know you don't get this, but the state's issues with the OT. In other words, the OT made this. Why did the OT make this recommendation?
The occupational therapist made the recommendation for a walk-in tub because she needs a walk-in tub. We're not saying she doesn't.
She needs one that she can walk into, though, that doesn't have an 8-inch threshold.
What do you think she needs?
Based on what I know now about how immobile she is, she needs a transition tub, or maybe a
shower with doors.
We had well, not doors, because
I mean with grab bars.
Yeah.
Okay, but listen. But George, this is what bothers us, and I know you feel the same, Mark. He keeps saying, based on what I know now, he's the one that went out there and assessed the patient.
It wasn't even your employee, man. It was you.
Yeah, it was me.
And George, you say on TV over and over again, you say, there are a lot of people out there, they're only interested in profits. I'm paraphrasing you, but it's pretty accurate. And you said to Denise Plant, but I take pride in selecting the appropriate appliance for the individual.
Yeah, but then he said that's only through Bentley Bath, not when it's a Medicaid deal.
No, but how do you reconcile that statement? I take pride in selecting a appropriate appliance for the individual. How do you reconcile that with this woman's bath?
The state gave us specifications to bid, and that was it.
They did not give you specifications on the opening of the tub.
No, they didn't.
They didn't give you specifications on the width of the tub.
Tom, the only thing I can say to
you're going in a circle. I swear to God, I feel like I'm on a Saturday Night Live episode where that one guy, Martin Short, used to play the politician, where they cough him dead to right, and he goes, I didn't say that, you said that, I didn't say that. And I say, okay, are you sure? I see you smoking. I'm not smoking. You say I'm smoking.
George,
I'm not
are you
smoking.
saying you're going to fix it?
Yes, I'm saying we're looking into what we can do.
Hold on.
Listen,
Bill, what is your comment? Go ahead, Bill.
Okay.
Bill.
How's it going?
Go ahead, quickly, please.
This is just a growing number of slugs out there.
What do you think?
My mother-in-law is 86 years old, and we had to take the checkbook away from her because all they want to do is pull money out of her hands. You know, they just constantly. She had a plumber come over and charge her $400 a sink to replace the faucet.
Okay, you know what? Oddly enough, we're not even talking about price here. I do think walk-in tubs are overpriced all over the country. I'm not talking about price right now. So I'm actually talking about it's inappropriate. Now, Megan is with Handyman Matters. She went over and looked at the job. Megan saw it on TV and went over and talked about this. What did you want to say, Megan? Quickly, please. Megan?
So we were just wondering exactly what he wants to do, because he keeps saying Medicaid only allowed him $14,000. But if that's the case, why wouldn't he go back and say, hey, this doesn't work, we need so-and-so extra money, and that's what they do. You're the expert, so when we go out
that's the point Megan, that's the point I was making. He is the expert who does this every day, and to sit there and say, I sold her the tub because they specified it, they did not specify it. I want everyone to know they did not specify anything about the tub other than a walk-in tub. They did not say how wide it should be. They did not say how big the door should be. They did not say how high the lip should be off the floor. George did that because he said, and to his defense, here's what he said: I did not realize the degree of her immobility. Also,
I don't even know how that's possible. I went over there and realized it.
In 5 minutes, you realize it. Plus, what about her size alone?
Oh, well.
Listen, we'll come back with more.
A mic's on somewhere. You got a mic on somewhere.
Good news that one press has been cleared.
So the state has to go through the process.
George, I just don't understand at this point why you just wouldn't send your guys out there and get it.
We're going to. We're going to. The state has to make a determination about whether the OT should be held.
Why can't a contractor go out and do it right now?
I can't. They've got to make that. They want to.
Why don't you pay for another contractor to go out?
That's still not the point. We
If it's not about
we
the
were out
money,
there
why is it?
yesterday with this lady.
Yeah.
Okay?
It was for the ramp, right? It was for the ramp yesterday.
No, there was a little hose that was loose that apparently was leaking, and the state said, you know, what is this leak and who's responsible? We went out. It took us 3 weeks to get out there just to do a 5-minute repair for her on the tub, right? But the point is, once the state has made, and I got nothing to do with it. But why would an OT recommend this appliance for this woman, and then what, you know, and if it's a shower or whatever it is, I don't even know what it is. But that's what we're going to be talking about.
No, she did say the occupational therapist said 2 inches. This has got 8 inches. That's what she said. I mean, we didn't see the paperwork on that.
There's not really a tub with a 2-inch lip. It's possible if you.
Well, I thought the ADA, the American Disability Act, you got to have a 30-inch or 36-inch wide with a 1-inch. I thought that's the American Disabilities Act, and would an old person fall under that like that? The American Disabilities Act, you're all
relative to what?
Walking tub.
The ADA doesn't even talk about walking.
Oh, absolutely.
Bathing and
no, absolutely. They have specifications.
That's enough.
Your own kitchen and your own bath free. ArtistPlanet.net 303.
I don't want to nitpick the fucking guy apart though, Dan.
Well, so here's where we're at, okay? The state is done with their thing, their investigation about what went on here, and we can deal with this one directly.
But George, can I tell you something? I want to tell you, based on these Facebook comments we're getting, YouTube comments, and off-air comments, and our live emails, I got to know, I have to tell you, you may think you're making a good argument here, but you're not. I swear to God, you're not. I mean, they're not buying it. You can't tell me you went out to that home, even though they approved this tub. I can't believe you didn't even for 1 minute think, well, I'm not sure she's going to be able to use this tub. By looking at her, because you're in the business. If you weren't in the business, if it was some inexperienced salesperson, I might put it past them. But you've been doing this for so long, I can't believe you would look at them and say, why the hell would I sell this? It's not going to do any good. Maybe you thought, if I don't sell it, the next guy will.
Being accused of a crime can ruin your life. Get help with highly respected, skilled trial attorney Joe Lazzara. He's offering a free initial consultation and up to $500 off his services. 303-429-6200. That's 429-6200.
Hiring is the most challenging part of my job. It's really hard. The searching, the sorting through resumes. Most people don't have the right experience.
We started using ZipRecruiter about 3 months ago. Right from the start, you could tell it was going to make hiring a lot easier. One click and my job was posted to 100+ job boards, all the top sites.
All of the candidates came to my dashboard. It's easy to compare them. Thumbs up if I like them. Thumbs down if I didn't. No emails and attachments, printing up docs, phone calls, none of that.
And I couldn't believe the number of great applicants we got. I had the person we needed within 1 week. I don't know how we hired before ZipRecruiter.
Whether you're looking to fill one position or 20, find the best candidates with ZipRecruiter.
So you're saying at 13.5 average, you're probably what, 3,000 or 4,000 under the market?
And right now you can try ZipRecruiter.
And we're doing more.
Just go to
We do custom valves, we hard plumb, we install the studs, our scope of work is significantly different than the market. So you take what you call an industry standard walking tub, everything's plumbed on the deck and all that sort of stuff. We average between 8 and 11 for that. This job was rated 7.
You make your wallet great again. Never shut down your radio.
Not 15. And the whole 14 are obviously and that was a competitive league, so it's better. So the issue is, for us, the state has said they're done with their OT investigation, we can do what we want. The question is, you know, what can we do for her?
Talk about it. 6:30.
And we were just out there yesterday. We talked to her 3 times this week.
I'm Tom Martino. I can't recap every time we come back. It's too long, but we have an issue with Bentley Baths for doing a Medicaid job on a walk-in tub, and we feel they sold her something inappropriate. They feel that they did what they could within the means of the Medicaid recommendations. And they said they've been out there since trying to figure out what they can do to help her to alleviate this problem, the fact that she can't use that tub. Okay, so Denise, you have a comment. Go ahead, Denise.
Hi, Tom. I used to work for a company that works with the federal government, so I know how difficult it is to work with the government. I mean, it's time-consuming, and it's ridiculous sometimes, but honestly, it makes me angry that he gives 2 levels of service, one for people who have a checkbook in their hand and another level for people who have to depend on the government. And that isn't fair. When he says he doesn't do an assessment because it's a Medicaid patient, really? I mean, I would never use his services.
Okay, thank you very much, Denise. Joe, what is your comment? Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I'm sitting there listening to this. I'm getting really frustrated because I'm trying to understand. I've had 2 small businesses myself, and they're an extension and representation of who you are. And I don't know if this guy understands, but for the last 30 minutes, he's probably lost more money than he'll lose in a month if he would just give good customer service. That is an extension of who he is. Whether he wants to, deny, he takes 0 responsibility for everything. And he's got a good excuse for why he can't offer good customer service. And I'm telling you, there's huge car lots down in South Phoenix would love this guy because he could push everything and just walk away with 0 responsibility. I'm getting frustrated because I can see this lady. She's somebody's mother. She's somebody's sister. And this guy sees a dollar sign. And man, from a small business point of view, small business owner myself, brother, I'm frustrated with you. Do the right thing here. That's all. Just do the right thing.
All right, now let's talk to Joe, who wants to defend Bentley Bath. Go ahead, Joe.
So, God, I can't.
Tom.
After Vision, no, Tom, I know your name, but
Bentley Baths.
2020, no, hindsight. Thank you.
Oh, 2020 hindsight.
Hindsight's always 2020. Look, his customer is the federal government. I know it's for
state,
this woman,
by the way,
or the state, whatever. It's the government. It's not his job to.
Oh, German on Facebook says he does the same thing, and it is up to the contractor to choose these baths for the customer.
Joe, I think you got it wrong. You have to be state approved.
That's private pay. There's a difference.
No, that's not true. That's not true. The Medicaid jobs give the contractors leeway. They don't specify a particular tub. They don't. I mean, you're
know that
Joe.
the woman can't get around.
Yes, he does, Joe. Yes, he does. He
God.
does this for a living. He knows who can fit into his tub. Joe, so you're saying he went out there and saw this woman. We knew enough in 5 minutes to see not only she couldn't fit in it, she couldn't walk into it. I just don't understand. I mean, you know, he is saying he didn't know that. He is saying he didn't realize it. And he is saying he was bidding according to Medicaid guidelines. What are Medicaid guidelines exactly? Let's ask him. Do they specify the size of the opening of the tub? No. Do they specify the size of the tub? No. Do they specify the color of the tub? No. So what specifications specifically were you following? I want to know. You keep saying what is
tub.
A walk-in. That is the specification.
That was
okay. So do you hear that, Joe? That's the specification. A walk-in tub.
That's exactly right.
So I would say then you have a responsibility there. A walk-in tub could be any number of things, and you would have some responsibility to make sure that the walk-in tub is appropriate for her. I mean, I would say,
yeah.
Well,
I mean, to an extent, and I agree. I thought she was mobile. I did.
So you're really saying
and I have people her size under. And again, I get you don't want to hear that.
Oh no,
I'd
let you say it 5 times. You can say it all you want.
Doesn't mean it's easy for them to get into necessarily. Doesn't mean they have to move body parts out. I mean, it happens.
Are you going to fix it?
I've told you that we're going to look at trying to correct this for her and get it taken care of. Right.
Josh, go ahead.
Is, you know what?
Josh, go ahead quickly, please.
Yeah, my quick question is, why did it take you guys getting involved for him to start meeting with Medicaid to try and solve it?
I don't know.
That had nothing to do with it.
Oh, he said that has nothing to do with it.
We've been dealing with that from day one.
He says they've been dealing with it since day one. But just so you know, they were dealing with her complaints. They were not willing to go back out there because we have his guy telling us they could not go back out there.
No, that's not accurate, Tom.
What
he
said
was telling you was we cannot talk under HIPAA about a specific case.
No, he said, Mark, he said what? His hands are tied.
About what?
That he
talking
can't.
About.
No, you want to play it? We'll play it.
Well, don't just tell me what you're talking about.
Okay. He was on the phone with her.
Right.
And we were listening in live. Not live, but recording it. And he said, our hands are tied. He says it's becoming like a broken record with you guys.
Yep.
Our hands are tied. We can't do anything without Medicaid approval.
And George, even when I ask you right now, I say you're going to fix it, you still have this tap dance around it. I mean, it's really a yes or no. Are you going to get it fixed? I don't care about the Medicaid aspect. Are you going to get it fixed?
I don't care about the Medicaid aspect either, but the Medicaid...
Listen, folks, I got to say something in closing, okay? The one guy mentioned customer service. I have to be fair here. I've not received any other complaints ever about Bentley baths. I have to say that because it's fair. This is the first complaint. It's a hell of a one, but it's the first one. Also, I appreciate him coming in. I can't believe he did. So that counts for something. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. We're going to resume next hour with our employment attorney and more coming up.
I've got a question for you. Are you
over 50? I think an hour is enough to spend on
George, let's call it over.
It's
not over for us.
Well, please let us know if you get it fixed.
You're not alone.
We'll definitely update everybody that you got in there.
Screaming and hollering we're doing at the state.
Free 75-minute retirement workshops in Cherry Creek, Broomfield, Highlands Ranch in Colorado.
Danny, walk me down, please.
There are some they'll answer. Can I afford to retire? How can I make my money last?
What's that?
Can I
On the referral list?
I think so, yes.
You'll be good.
A whole lot more. Hanson McLean has been hosting free retirement workshops for more than 20 years.
Have you ever heard anybody come off like such an asshole? I mean, the guy... I'm an attorney. I never fucking... He's an attorney, too. I've never... He just can't even say he's going to fix it.
No, and that's... why he can't grasp that that's what he should be saying.
I gotta say, the guy's got the biggest fucking balls I've ever seen in my life coming in.
You're right.
All he did was come in and fucking admit that he's a fucking idiot. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, he just needed to say, we're going to take care of this. I mean, what's the most it costs him out of pocket? What, another
couple grand?
$13,500 at most, maybe, if he's...
No, not even close.
James Comey during a brief photo op today.
I can't believe
that's not great marketing.
Insisting that Comey had lost the contract.
I think he really thought he was going to come in here and do an infomercial.
No.
That's arrogance right there, when you feel like, oh my God, I don't even know what to say about it. I can't fucking believe him. He actually admitted that he should have never sold her that tub and everything else, but he just can't get the words out of his mouth that he's going to fix it. He can't do it. He's trying to get more money out of it.
I want to sue him. I'd love to get that son of a bitch in front of a jury and have him explain why he sold that to her.
And then God, have you ever seen anybody?
Because then he's
they blame everybody.
There's no loss, and because of the Medicaid. But I'm going to say she used up her benefit. Now she can't buy one that works.
That's
That's going to be the loss.
Do you guys do that? Do you guys sue?
Yes, we do.
Law banning sanctuary cities.
Yes, we do.
Says he will follow it until a court says otherwise. The law
Yeah, he needs a PR agent of some sort to tell him how to get something like this done.
He needs something.
So here's what Peter Boyle sent me. Look at this closely. He's such a weirdo.
Up and down the East Coast will be happy to hear I-85 will reopen a full month ahead of schedule. Georgia Governor Nathan Deal shares the good news at a press conference today, calling it a state celebration.
It took me a second. I didn't even, the punchline didn't kick till I read the bottom. Look at that. That's pretty funny.
Bridge will be completed and will be open for traffic.
Crew's been working around the clock to clear the sky.
It is funny how it kicks. It doesn't kick in until you look. That's pretty funny.
Until you read it.
Do you have time to run the rest of it?
Yeah.
You're listening to the latest from ABC News Radio.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock. After showers and thunderstorms today, look for high.
What was it? I didn't get a chance to
Okay.
Possible thunderstorm and an overnight low of 44. More to say tomorrow with a high in the 60s. Friday, sunny and a high near 82 degrees total blackout.
It's fucking stupid, but it's funny as hell.
Free credit monitoring may show changes to your credit. LifeLock.
Put it up on Facebook.
Sign up fast at LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK to save 10%.
Did he ever, he's not, is he dating anybody?
Oh, actually he was.
Was he?
The flooring company I highly recommend for superior products, services, and value. Paradigm Interiors. Look for them on my referral list. You get this personalized attention, you get the best prices, and you get design help as well. They really are changing the way things are done. You don't have to.
I'll guarantee you there's a lot of people in the state that's getting more of I talked to 3 or 4 people, they bounced me around, and the media relations guy, I sent them the pictures.
9204 Paradigm Interiors. Everything is personalized attention, and you still get the pricing as if they're a big giant warehouse. That's why I love Paradigm Interiors. The flooring company I have been recommending to all of my friends.
By the way,
and neighbors
the attorney
now for superior products, services, and value. Tile, carpet, hardwood, engineered laminates, and vinyl. You'll find them all at Paradigm Interiors, 303-630-9204. They take care of it from beginning to end. 303-630-9204. Paradigm Interiors.
Saying you almost bought your dream car doesn't sound right. Isn't it time you stopped dreaming and maybe started driving? Hi, it's Dave Logan. Right now, own the car of your dreams for way less. Exclusive offer from my friends at Shop BMW. 0% APR up to 60 months.
Make it a double.
Visit shopbmw.com today to learn more. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Once again, that's shopbmw.com.
Do you have high?
Oh man, we got Flexident. You got to cut soon.
Feel like you will never get ahead.
Did you get budgets done last night?
This is Ross Kaminsky from my friends at American Financing, and probably you're right.
Come on, people, they give me 1 day notice. Flexident starting tomorrow.
You know what though? They've got the 30 they're going to use from last year. It's not dated. It's fine.
Of your uncommon value. This could allow you to start saving hundreds of thousands or more every month. Rates are still near historic lows, so locking.
And that's what a typical day is like here.
Yeah, no kidding. Get the adrenaline pumping, get everyone through the rest of the day.
I got to give it to that guy though, man. I got to give it to him.
I don't think he thought it was going to be like that.
And I get another lunch.
More savings for you. Call now before rates.
Let's see what your aim is like. That's his.
695-7000.
No,
I ain't drinking this fucking.
No, I mean throw it in there.
Or online
lunch?
at American Finance.
Oh, you should have taken that.
Well, I was trying to land it. The trash is easy. I wanted it right behind the Lysol bottle without moving.
That's a 10 throw.
Bones.
Mark Major, can you send me
me the Troubleshooter Network Wi-Fi password, please?
$10,000 in your pocket over the next 90 days. This 2-hour class.
Wi-Fi password.
Do you have it on
Like I said, I got the password. Is it this one here?
Apple Air? Hold on, I think I can find it.
No risk.
Whoops.
Risk nothing but have everything.
I think I can find
Two-hour
it.
real estate class is coming to the Denver area soon. Call 1-800-680-2257 now to secure your seat. This seminar is free for the first 50 people that call. Change your life now and learn the art
Oh, let's see.
of long-term hold. Call 1-800-680-2257
I think it's
now.
TSN at work. That's for the Apple.
That is?
Yeah.
Okay, so TSN.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help! I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can. I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. The only show anywhere of its kind where we are fighting for you. Sometimes we fight with you, and depends on where you're leaning. Anyway, wow. We had a first hour that you're going to have to just listen to. It'll be archived on Facebook, unfortunately, because we yelled during the breaks. It was terrible. If you listened live, you would hear that. We also, I lost my cool. I lost my cool during the break.
Yeah, you did.
Anyway, so
it's
that's
easy to do with him, though.
That's on Facebook and YouTube, and we have attorney Sean Olson with us to talk about the Olson Law Firm, to talk about employment law. That was really the topic today. And then George Bentley showed up, and I got to give him credit. That part, no, honest to God.
Big kahunas.
No other business guy has ever come here live without conditions.
You got to give it to him.
Never once have I had anyone come in live, I'm not unannounced, live without a previous meeting and without conditions.
He walked in circles and talked in circles, though.
Tom?
He's a politician. What?
Tom, Troy on Facebook says he just lost so much business.
Well, he did, and I'll tell you why. Here's what it is. The state approved a project for this elderly woman, and he was a state-approved contractor for Medicaid, and he went out and installed a walk-in tub and got paid by Medicaid. She can't use the tub because she can't fit in it, nor can she lift her legs up over the 8-inch lip at the bottom.
The threshold.
Now, they make tubs with bigger openings and bigger seats and no lip. He didn't sell her one of those. And I asked him why, and he keeps saying it's because it was specified by Medicaid. But we finally got it out of him that Medicaid, I said, okay, what were these specifications you're talking about? And he said, a walk-in tub. Okay, that means that's the only specification he had to go by. So why then wouldn't he sell her a walk-in tub she could use? Why that one? He said, I honest to goodness did not realize she was that immobile. That I find hard to believe. I just find it hard to believe. Here's what I think.
I met her. I find it impossible to believe.
And that large. I find it hard to believe he couldn't realize the inappropriateness of this tub. So, here's what I think happened. He was approved. He had a budget. He said, let me get this done and get paid and be on my way. I don't think he allowed himself to get involved like he does in a private pay, because he said, and I can almost quote him, that was not a Bentley Bath job. If I did that with a private pay, I would have counseled them on what tub to get. Did he not say that in so many words, Mark? Listen to the tape.
Yeah,
okay.
He did.
Okay. So what he's saying is because it was Medicaid, it was slam, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's what he was saying. Now, he said, to his defense again, he is going to go out and do something about it, right? But he didn't say what. Or he says they're examining what.
He wouldn't answer that question straight.
Tom's got a comment. Go ahead, Tom.
You know, Tom, I've been listening to you. Actually, I started with you on Fox and have listened to you ever since on radio.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what, man. For the first time, I got a kind of a glimpse behind the scenes of you and Mark's passion for what you guys do. Callers come on, they'll tell you their problem. You give us an update days or weeks later that you fixed X, Y, or Z. You recovered X, Y, or Z for that situation. But I got a true glimpse, after listening to you for years, of you guys' passion. Mark, you too. it was very evident to me as a listener and a faithful follower. I've used tons of people on your referral list and very happy to do so. But I saw your passion for what you do. I don't know why you guys do what you do, but now I know why.
Well, we do it because it's satisfying, and we get to do it because of sponsors. I mean, we don't charge consumers anything, but we get to do what we do because of sponsors and because of iHeart. I mean, really, they put us on the air. So that's how we get to do it. And speaking of which, we are live on iHeart, the radio app. If you get the radio app, download it. You can listen to us or anyone else around the country. So if you move away, you don't have an excuse not to listen. And that's it's on a Play Store and also on iTunes, the iHeart radio app. And look us up, KHOW or Martino or Troubleshooter. Let's talk to Jim. Jim, you have a comment. Go ahead, Jim. Welcome.
Yeah, Tom, he needs to be put at the top of the sleaze brigade, period. The guy is a scumbag. Also, I don't know, but you said that he's a lawyer.
Yes.
Is there any ethics that he has to maintain in and out of being a lawyer, per se?
Sean Olson.
Sean's over there shaking his head.
As an attorney, do they look at your outside businesses? I'm serious, do they? But I don't even think he's a practicing attorney. But let's say you were a practicing attorney and you had another business. Can that other business get you in trouble with the bar?
Potentially it could, if he's a practicing attorney. But if you're in a situation where you've let your license lapse or you put it on standby, likely not.
It's not going to matter. All right, 303-713-TALK. Maria has a problem with the mortgage. Go ahead, Maria.
Yes, I think I spoke to you back in February about my sister buying a house in Arizona and putting my sister and my mom on it.
Okay.
Well, you told me to tell them to do a short sale. They're dragging their feet.
Hold on.
I have no bells on this one.
I don't remember saying short sale. What was the situation? Give me a little more information.
Okay, my sister bought a home 15 years ago in Arizona.
Okay.
She could not afford with her money, so she put my mom and my sister, who's developmentally disabled, who have my dad's pension, to help buy the house.
They put her where? On the deed?
Yes, on the yes.
So the three of them are on the deed.
Yeah, so they can use all three's money. Well, she had a stroke last February.
Well, okay, they didn't have to. Okay, so who had a stroke?
The sister who originally bought the house.
Okay, so what is your question?
Well, she's disabled now. She hasn't paid anything on the mortgage for 10 months. I'm power of attorney for my sister. My other sister's power of attorney for my mom. We signed some papers saying we had no problem with her selling the house. Well, they're dragging their feet.
Who's dragging their feet?
The title company.
What? Why?
They want money.
Well, the title company doesn't want money.
Well, they're the ones who started with that. My mom's got dementia.
No, listen. The title company has nothing to do with this.
Okay.
Who is asking you to sell the house?
Well, my sister went and talked to a realtor, so she's trying to help.
Okay. But do they owe more? Do they owe more than the house is worth?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and how old? Who is actually on the loan?
My sister.
The one that had a stroke.
Yes, my mother is 84.
Why doesn't she just file a bankruptcy?
They're at her like you would not believe.
Just a bankruptcy. Did you hear me? A bankruptcy. Then it's over.
I told her.
Okay, if she doesn't listen, there's nothing else I can do for you. Here's what the only option. This woman has a stroke. She's upside down in a house, and she has nowhere else to go but down, and they can't get anything from her. She has nothing. This is what bankruptcy is made for in America, to give people a fresh start like that. She is incapacitated. She can't be strapped with this house, and as soon as she does a bankruptcy, her personal liability for that loan goes away. Then they can live there until they get kicked out or just find another place to live. But I don't know any other option. And if you're listening, you don't believe in bankruptcy, I don't care, because sometimes people need it. Like in this case, you got a disabled woman, you got another woman with a stroke, and then you got an elderly woman. Winkandwink.com, by the way. If you need any advice, just call them, 303-410-1720. Mike and Gigi, they'll give you information. Even if they can't handle it in Arizona, they can give her some information if she's a good candidate. 303-410-1720. Okay, so that's what I would do. Now we have Sean Olson with us, employment law, and we really got a slow start here with employment because we had this other case come up with Bentley Baths where he came to the studio. So what I want to talk about are the big issues that come up all the time, okay? Really, we have issues that keep reoccurring when it comes to jobs. And I'm going to give you the term that people use, not necessarily terms that are correct. The first one is unjust termination, okay? We hear this term all the time. We don't have to talk about it now, but these are some of the things we're going to go across. Termination, okay? And another one we hear, nepotism. Okay, they use that term. Well, I was fired, but he hired his brother-in-law to do my job. Nepotism, I can prove it. Okay, nepotism, unjust termination. Another one.
Independent contractor.
Independent contractor, and now I'm screwed. I don't have insurance. I'm hurt. Okay, next one is not getting paid. Okay, not getting paid. And there are a host of other problems. But if you are an employer or an employee, you can call now to talk to Sean Olson, the Olson Law Firm. They do employment law. Or if you have any problem, question, or complaint, you can give us a call at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And I can't help but mention ApprovalReverse.com while we're talking about finances, because if those people had equity in the home and they were 62 or older, they quite possibly could have gotten a reverse mortgage, and that's what reverse mortgages are all about. If you're older and you're starting to lose grip and you need cash, you can tap the equity in your home, but it's not good for everyone. Joan Sullivan at ApprovalReverse.com can give you the lowdown on that. 303-771-3528.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Service Report is brought to you by LifeLock. Despite the threat of another round of thunderstorms this afternoon, the drive around Denver is in pretty good shape. We do have some pretty heavy traffic, though. Southbound on I-25 from I-76 down
Hey,
to 70.
Drew, I'm going to use this show for Labor Day or Memorial Day, whatever the hell's coming up, so pull it from the logger, please.
6th Avenue up to Sports Authority Field.
I'll give George another, George, get another commercial come Labor Day. What's coming up, Labor Day or Memorial Day? Memorial Day.
Denver weather cloudy.
I think after 40 years on this planet, I know. I had it down. Me too.
53 in Denver right now. With your traffic and weather, I'm Bill Jones, 630 KHOW.
Do you use public Wi-Fi? That increases your chance of identity theft. One reason you need LifeLock. Free credit monitoring may show changes to your credit. LifeLock's U.S.-based team helps resolve identity theft issues. Sign up fast at LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK to save 10%.
Excel Roofing is a company I can highly recommend. You may have some old damage, call them. But if anything happens these next few months, remember Excel Roofing. They may not come knocking at your door, but they will be the ones you want. First of all, they're never going to ask you to sign anything to look at your roof. You should never have to sign anything to look at your roof. That's a bunch of crap, these roofers that knock on the door. They're tricking you into a contract. Excel will never trick you into a contract. They will give you a complete contract when they're done examining and tell you everything you need, and if you like it, you sign it. They'll even help negotiate with your insurance adjuster because they know how to deal with insurance companies. But whether
I got to add something on your listing too. I'm changing your address right now, but I just realized something. I was spelling your last name, not on here, searching for it with an E, and I wonder how many people do that. So I'm going to kind of add that.
ExcelRoofing.com.
Yeah, out here in Colorado, it's more common to see the E-N. Back in Wisconsin, it's always O-N. No one ever says yeah. You get into Minnesota, then it's more E-N.
You from Minnesota?
No, I'm from Wisconsin originally.
Minnesota.
All right, what part?
Almost in North Dakota.
He lived down by the creek.
By the creek in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah?
There's only one creek in Minnesota. It's a hard group here.
What's your news dip?
80-205.
Phone number 586-729-7. All right, it's all updated. Cool.
Or should I say, the ideal way. Here to explain is Brent.
I can't believe the kahunas on that guy. I got to give it to him. I wish other people. You know who'd be great in studio would be freaking the ladies, man. Holy shit, that'd be fun.
I think there'd be fisticuffs.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. It's a good thing, you know. He was hot-headed, and we are hot-headed. That would have been one volatile situation. Yeah. We had Sean. We were thinking if he came across the table, he was on.
I I can't see George leaping across the table.
That's a big table to leap across.
That's it. God, you gotta give it to the guy. Shit, he can talk in a circle better than I've ever seen.
I swear to God, he just kept.
He can technically say he never said he'd handled it either. I mean, he really. Yep.
He didn't want to look at the HIPAA thing either. I would have thought he said form.
I bet he's going, why the fuck did I go in there?
Oh, absolutely.
He's got to be thinking, what good did any of that do?
That's the thing about narcissism.
He's not there. Doesn't even.
Never self-examine.
But if you did, he could have just ended this. We're going to take care of it. We'll buy the tub. We'll get it the right.
He was trying to say that in his own double talk.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to say that at all.
Nah, I asked him like for
I want to sue on her behalf. I don't even want her to do it. I want us to do it. I want to sue on her behalf.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling something's going to be done, and we'll know shortly. You know who's out there today? It's the state's out at her house.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Here's what.
Looking out. Colorado Access is out there.
I was
sometime today.
I was going to have Dan literally bring her to the studio when he walked in today. She'd be here. But the only reason we couldn't make that happen is because the state's out there today. Hopefully, getting her a damn cup. What?
So no, they didn't know.
Did you ask him to check on the appropriateness?
The state? Yeah. I couldn't even get the state to do.
They won't talk to us at all. You did send them pictures?
I sent them pictures, yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
Nepotism! What the hell does it mean? That's what I want to know. I hear it all the time. You know, because of TV and movies and relatives and brother-in-laws, everyone knows a little something about everything. And when it comes to employment law, I'll never forget when somebody says, I was fired and he hired his brother-in-law, I can't believe it, to do the same job I was doing. And my one relative says, that's nepotism, that's against the law. Okay, what is nepotism?
So nepotism is essentially what you've said, you know, when
hiring a family member,
or hiring a close friend,
giving favor,
doing a favor based on relationship rather than skill or background or education.
It says here the definition: the practice among those with power or influence to favor relatives or friends. Is that illegal?
Not in the private sector. It's not. No.
No. In most government agencies, it is.
It depends on which government agency you're in. I would imagine, yes, that
and
is
kind of in a way it does suck that a guy can walk up, and a boss can walk up and say, Floyd, you've been with me for years, but my brother-in-law needs a job, and he's moving here from Wisconsin. I need your job. There would be nothing that guy could do.
They were saying that about Trump. Trump hired, what, his daughter works there? And then son-in-law works there?
That is nepotism at its finest. I mean, that's the textbook example of nepotism. You know, you've got people who don't necessarily have any experience doing the job, but now they're doing the job because and solely because of the relationship.
Arguably. Now, I don't think you can. You don't. It's not a stretch to say that Kushner doesn't have experience in government. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm not saying he's a good or bad.
Yeah, well, either did Trump though. So
yeah. And I'm not
the whole
saying,
damn
and
family knows nothing.
Actually, I'm not saying you need experience to have a good team. But we digress. Let's talk about nepotism then. It doesn't matter, is what we're saying.
Not in Colorado, it doesn't.
Well, anywhere can you think of any?
It is possible that there's another state in the union where it does matter. I have certainly never heard of it.
All right. We'll talk more. And any calls, folks, you can get right through right now. We got a couple lines open for the first time, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Susan, what's going on?
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm calling. I have an unemployment benefits question.
Yes, what's going on?
It's for my son. He was hired at a startup company in Grand Junction, and while they were in the process of applying for their federal and state tax ID numbers, they had made an arrangement with a local employment agency that he would basically work for them, and when they had everything set up, then he would move on to the company. So since then,
so he was working. He was working for someone who leased them. They leased him back to this company.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
So, long story short, the company only lasted about a year, and they gave the real company gave him a letter stating that his employment had ended. Blah 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 blah.
Was
blah.
he still working for the professional employment organization at the time?
No, actually, he had.
He had already transitioned.
Right. It was like the end of June, and he transitioned like on a July 1st to the real company.
Okay.
So anyway, he applied for unemployment, and he was awarded benefits. Just recently, he received a letter that there will be a hearing. The employment agency says that, although you were a temp to hire position, the claimant still could have stayed with the blank XYZ company and worked other assignments. So they're saying,
so they're saying that job was a voluntary dismissal, or he quit. Therefore, those quarters won't count.
Right.
I can see why they'd say that, because he voluntarily left that company. He wasn't fired. He left them to go to his other company. Okay. That is a weird one, Sean. What do you think?
Well, you're only entitled to benefits if you're leaving your employment through no fault of your own. And voluntarily leaving a place of employment means you're leaving, you've left that job through a fault of your own.
So technically, he did leave a job.
If he's voluntarily quitting, especially if there's work available to him.
No, but you know what she's saying. He left the temp company because that was the arrangement.
That was the
when they were ready. You see, he was working for the temp company while the startup company got settled. Then the arrangement was, once they got settled, they would take him on. And they did. But when they took him on, it looked to the state like he quit the job at the professional employment organization.
Oh, I see.
See?
Okay.
So what do you think about that?
Could he make the argument?
I understand that.
Knew about,
we got that. We got that.
Yeah.
Could we make the argument that he was gainfully employed the entire time and it was just substance over form here?
You certainly could. I mean, and that seems to be the situation where that kind of argument would work. I mean, the whole purpose of his employment with the temporary employment agency is to work somewhere else. So it would certainly appear to be a good argument to make to the hearing officer along the way.
So that's good. Let him make the argument at the hearing that even though he was working for a professional employment organization, the only reason he was working there was to take this other job at the startup company, and the professional employment organization did not have any other work for him.
Okay.
And it would be helpful if he could get that in a statement from the professional employment organization.
Yeah, they won't.
They won't?
Do that, but
why wouldn't they?
Doubt it.
Well, why wouldn't they? They have nothing to lose.
Yeah, get a subpoena. Have someone from the company testify at the hearing. He has that right to ask the hearing officer for subpoena power.
I would do it. He has nothing to lose. Patrick, welcome. What's going on, Patrick?
Hey, thanks, Tom. I got a question for your attorney.
Yeah.
Hey, back in January, my wife got a DUI, and the DA subpoenaed me to testify against her, and I'm kind of like, don't really want to do that. I was just wondering if I could plead the Fifth Amendment on that.
Now, the Fifth is not to incriminate yourself. Does that extend to a spouse?
That does not extend to a spouse, but the spousal privilege does extend to a spouse. And that's,
what is that?
That's a statutory privilege here in Colorado. Admittedly, I don't work in the criminal area very often, so I'm not horribly familiar with it. But I am pretty confident that they're not going to be able to compel you to testify against your wife.
But you're going to need to quash it, though. Otherwise, you have to show up.
Yeah, I'm going to show up, but I don't want to get on the stand.
You better.
How do they handle that?
You better cite a law. You could get it quashed by citing a law.
How do they do that with, say, domestic violence, though? How do you...
because you can't compel them.
They can't make them.
You're right. They can voluntarily do it.
I gotcha.
I would absolutely have a discussion with your wife's lawyer, assuming she has one, and find out.
I hope she has one.
Yeah, make a plan to make sure that everything goes smoothly.
Joseph A. Lazara on a referral list. Joseph A. Lazara can answer all of these questions, too. 303-713-TALK. Christy, what's happening?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay. What's going on?
I am calling to ask if you can think of another option for my mom. Has $70,000 in overdraft debt, and ranging four different accounts, ranging in interest rates from 8 to 24%. So she needs to restructure this debt, and
Does she have equity in her home?
she does, yes.
Well, what rate is she at right now in her first?
3 and just under 4.
Oh, that's a great rate.
Yes, and she has $110,000 left on the mortgage.
Well, and how much is the house worth?
Probably around 300.
That's the easiest source of low interest money. If she gets a second, it would still be pretty low, even a line of credit. But here's the point, though, and I'm compelled to tell you this, but not. I don't have to necessarily encourage this. But there are other ways, like a bankruptcy, a Chapter 13, or that would do away with that high interest and the penalties, and she could just make payments on that debt. That's one option, is a bankruptcy, a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Because she has more than $100,000 in equity. Is she married?
No.
Well, if she has more than $100,000 in equity, and it seems she does, then Chapter 7 would not be in line because they would make her sell her house to pay her debts. So she would either do a Chapter 13 or you would do a home equity loan. And a home equity loan would not damage your credit at all if she can qualify.
She looked into a home equity loan, and they offered something like a Chase Bank for like 5.88%, but it was tied to the prime, so it's probably going to go up.
Well, Ideal Home Loans could refinance the whole thing, and they do these loans specifically for debt consolidation. And they also, not only do they do these, she could easily get another 20, but because you save money, because you have low rates, you can make some extra payments that she's not going to be making on these anymore. She can now pay it toward that extra 20 on her mortgage, so she doesn't end up financing that overdraft over 30 years. Ideal Home Loans is somebody I would check with too, or any reputable lender. But that, if she gets a new first, I think she could still get right around 4. So I would probably try that. Okay. Mary says her son was terminated. She has a question about that. Coming up.
What's the most outrageous one you've had?
What's that?
What's the most outrageous one you've had? Like, have you had one where someone got fired literally because they were, say, black or a woman or something that you could literally prove?
It never gets that blatant. I've got a case now with a municipality where she's a woman that I think she's Samoan descent, so she looks African American. It's clear that she's not Caucasian. Yeah. And so they had these 2 managers, 2 white guys that were. They were creative. It's the first time I've really come across a truly hostile work environment. Like when the Black Lives Matter protests were going on, they made all of the employees get up and walk into this other manager's office with their hands up, including her. And, oh yeah. And so then she files a complaint against these guys, hostile work environment. Goes through all the channels she's supposed to go through. Not yet. First, one of these managers turns around and files a sexual harassment complaint against her. Whoa! So they do a full-on investigation, realize that she did nothing wrong. They say this sexual harassment claim is bullshit, and then they fired her. Oh. Yeah, that's probably the most outrageous, blatantly outrageous. Rarely with racial discrimination, that kind of thing is it outright. I mean, typically you've got to read in between the lines and really connect some dots. But that one was that's one of the worst.
You want to try to work in budgets this hour, take it out of the third.
We have new loan programs that allow you to borrow up to 97%.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Stop paying $200, $300, $400 a month in mortgage insurance. Take 720-895-0500. Purchase your next home with as little as.
Yeah, you think of huge companies, say like Walmart or anything that's big. It would be so hard because of just the different level. I guess at Walmart, their assistants, it's probably almost impossible to terminate somebody unless you're the store manager, maybe even above. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I would think so. Yeah, your lower level managers.
They're not. Yeah, your assistants and your department heads, they can't fire anybody.
No. There's.
I wouldn't. When I had my 5 stores, I wouldn't let any manager fire anybody. If it got bad, they could send them home.
Right.
But I wouldn't let anybody fire.
If you enjoyed it.
I'm not going to let them do that. Why do they get to have all the fun? I had I guess it wouldn't be transgender. What's it called when you dress up, a girl dresses, a transvestite, work for me in Castle Rock. She actually changed, or he, I don't remember. Jesse was the name. So
what kind of store?
Goodyear store.
Oh, okay.
Goodyear Tire. So I had him work,
If you're renting, you're throwing away money.
and then I had a lesbian up front, Lucy.
American Financing is helping.
She worked at front. She could sell anything. She was great, but she was like, I guess you'd say butch. And she had a girlfriend. And another store manager, his name was John.
Another good story.
Ended up sleeping with her girlfriend, with Lucy's girlfriend.
I bought this story.
So Lucy finds out, calls in the assistant manager. She's in Castle Rock. The other store is down by I-70 in Peoria. It's down by the airport, basically. So I get this call from a store manager that's in one of my bathrooms, John, who is doing her girlfriend, and she drove down there, literally was going to kick his ass, and she could have. I mean, he was a tall, skinny dude. She was going to kick his ass, and I mean, she was all about it. He ran and locked himself in the bathroom. She's beating the door down. He's calling me on his cell phone, telling me, what do I do? She's not kidding. This is no joke. She's going to fucking kill me. So some of my technicians in the back kind of drug her away. I showed up over there, and I got to hear this whole story, how he's banging her girlfriend. It was like a whole thing.
What'd you do?
I calmed everybody down, got her back to Castle Rock, and I said, this is something you're going to have to deal with her after hours.
Right.
You know, I didn't fire her. John wasn't like, he wasn't going to do anything. I mean, he was taking his lumps like he should. But ultimately, I think she's actually still with that girl, so they kind of...
Oh, really?
Yeah, they made it through, but man, I had some crazy shit back in the day. I couldn't have made that up, man.
No, that's not something you expect to have happen on a Monday morning.
No, it was crazy. He was terrified too, man. You could hear it in his voice. He was absolutely terrified she was going to put
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome, 303-713-TALK. Sean Olson, employment attorney, is with us. He's on our referral list at referralist.com as well, the Olson Law Firm. We have a question for him from Mary. Mary, go ahead.
Thank you, and good morning. My son was hired by a large insurance company, kind of HMO, that's big in California and here in Colorado. I'd rather not name them specifically. But he applied for a position in 2014 and was hired. And he did disclose on his application that he was on the autism spectrum. They placed him in a position where they trained him and then worked him for 4 months. He demonstrated really, really strong proficiency, and they hired him full-time. Several months after that, there was a change in the manager, and they changed the job duties and specifications to include things that would be directly challenging for his disability, and provided no accommodations, started writing him up immediately, and ultimately terminated him that same year, later that year. They recognized, after we made them understand or aware, he has this disability. We never talked about that. We never worked with that. And they brought him back to work after a 2.5-month termination period. They put him in a different position. They did not put him back in the position where he was successful. They put him in another position without any accommodations, which seems to have been a little bit against the ADA recommendations for how to approach this. But in any event, they put him in another position that, again, they put him in a situation where it was a direct challenge to his disability and provided no accommodation really for his disability, and of course he failed at it. They yanked him out of that instead of, again, trying to work with anyone, and he does have an ADA advocate. They chose not to work with them and went ahead and put him in a transitional position until they could find something that he would be, I guess, a good fit with. put him in a mailroom position.
What is your question, though? I mean, you're giving a good narrative here, but what is your question?
So my question is, in the transitional position, he was recently terminated, again, without any accommodations. And he was told at the time he was, quote unquote, not a good fit. And so he was told he could use his short-term disability, and when he tried to, they said, no, your company never said anything about a medical disability. When we tried to collect unemployment while we were figuring out next steps, the unemployment agency said, no, I'm sorry. They said that this wasn't a termination and that he's supposed to go back to work on May 2nd. Well, of course, that didn't happen.
Do you have any comment on that?
I just don't know what to do next. I feel really upset, but not just for my son, for a lot of the other folks who are in the same corporation, who I understand have just the same difficulties. And it's very defeating to folks who are really strong workers if you find the classification of work that they do best in. And initially, he was very successful.
So is he actually terminated now?
They have him on what's called unpaid leave, which means he has not received any payment from any source on either unemployment or short-term disability for over 2 months.
So he's constructively discharged then, which is just a legal term saying it's termination by another name. If they're not paying him and he's not showing up for work.
You didn't actually ask a question yet, did you? What is your actual question?
Well, you know, it's hard to know exactly how to proceed. I want to know do I need legal representation?
I don't know if he has a case. Does he have a case?
He might. The ADA is a pretty powerful tool to use against an employer. And they, if it's someone in your son's position, there's a good chance that they are required by law to offer him a reasonable accommodation so that he can perform the job. And if they're purposefully moving him around, changing his duties and things like that as an excuse simply to get rid of him without providing him a reasonable accommodation, there's a good chance that they're in violation of the ADA. What you need to do is talk to an attorney about that who's skilled in the world of...
Do you handle ADA in your employment practice?
We do. We handle quite a bit of ADA.
Okay, good. So you might want to call off the air and have him call directly and get a consultation. 303-713-TALK. By the way, here's the Olson Law Firm's number, okay? 303-586-7297. 303-586-7297. We got lines open right now. You can get right through at 303-MARTINO or 303-713-TALK.
What do you think about what Mark's doing at Budget A1? Honest to God, man.
Oh.
Do you think it's... I can't believe the actual price.
I know what brought that up. You saw that live comment.
Yeah.
That live comment. They wanted to know what was up with that. Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair, Mark is talking about, is doing this. I invented the Find Fix or Free with Plumbline Services, and it's going gangbusters. And so Mark said, hey, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So Find Fix or Free works this way. He will find and fix any problem in your car, any problem at all, for 89
plus parts.
$89 plus parts. That's it.
I would never have done that in my shops.
Now, remember, it's find, fix for $89 plus parts or free. So what that means is, let's say your entire transmission is blown, and there's no way that he can do it for $89. So what he'll do is he'll give you a complete diagnostic free. So no matter what, you're coming out free with a great diagnosis, or you're getting it fixed for the controlled price of $89 plus parts.
It seems too cheap to me.
Well, it's, if you think about it.
I mean, it's the real deal. No, I'm just saying, okay, so if it's an alternator or starter.
Yeah, think about it.
And it calls for 3 or 4 hours in the Mitchell's book, he's going to do it for $89
right.
plus the cost of the alternator.
Yeah, there are no tricks here. This is it.
And then if you get a free diagnosis, no matter how you look at it.
Right, so you'll never spend more than $89 plus parts, and if he tells you it's going to be way more because it's the transmission or the transfer case or some major problem, at least you know, and you'll get a written report. Here's Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. 303-781-9858. 303-781-9858. Okay, I got to take a short break, and I may as well tell you about Rocky's Autos at 63rd and Federal. If you are in market for a used car, truck, SUV, or van, you will find a great number of new arrivals at Rockies. By the way, that inventory changes often, so even though you've been there, you want to shop around, but make Rockies part of your shopping trip. Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 303-426-4646. That's Rockies Auto, 63rd and Federal.
Mark, maybe I'm misunderstanding it. I thought if it was something that's 4 hours, that they say, hey, this is going to be 4 hours and stuff, but we'll take the first 2.5 hours.
Yeah, he said 2.5 or 3. I talked to him. Most starters and alternators call 2 to 3. Actually, some of them call for an hour. But no matter how you look at it, they're saving hundreds of dollars on most repairs.
Absolutely. I just didn't want someone to come and say,
yeah.
Denver weather cloudy and scattered thunderstorms throughout the day today. A high near 55 degrees.
So repeat the story. I thought I bought like 5 of those stories.
Bill Jones, 6:30
story. I got the Vegas story.
I had some crazy shit. I had a guy in a wheelchair roll into me one time, right into my car. It was absolutely incredible. Electric wheelchair. My insurance company ended up paying out over $500,000.
My kids, like many kids,
he ran into me.
When I heard about
this is like
I was making a right-hand turn. I came to a stop. I'm making a right-hand turn. It was off of like Federal, and I made the right-hand turn. Next thing I know, this guy flies up on my hood. His electric wheelchair hit me. Now, ultimately, it looks like, well, all the witnesses said that he had the crosswalk when I was making the right. So he went. He ends up on my hood. I slammed the brakes on it. He pulls off. And I go over there, and he appeared to be okay. Ambulance came down. He couldn't walk. He had no leg. So I called the hospital. I get out of there, got the ticket. Actually, I don't even know if I got a ticket. Yeah, I did get a ticket. But anyhow, so I get a call. I call the hospital, and I talked to a doctor or nurse or whatever, and they said, oh, no, he was fine. We checked him out, and he left. So I didn't think anything of it. 6, 7 months later, he's suing my insurance company. He gets over $500,000. His claim was basically ever since that happened, he couldn't live on his own anymore. So they estimated his lifetime and then what it would cost to have someone live with him and take care of him, and that's basically what the payout was. You know what was weird though is because it was a company car, it never hit my record. In other words, it never hit my insurance clue report. It hit the company's clue report. So it never affected my license or anything. And the ticket was dropped to headlight out or something. I didn't even really get a real ticket on it.
So
it's horrible though.
Everything out of court. They settled out of court.
Yeah. Yep. In fact, I was kind of upset. I remember talking to my insurance agent. I was like, you guys are going to pay that? What are you, nuts? Why wouldn't you go to court? He goes, oh, okay, so let's see. You're a young man. You're going to be sitting over here. And then the Vietnam vet, which he was, and he was one of these guys, like the Bubba, had the hat, the whole bit. And the legless guy is going to be over there. And we're going to do what now? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's not my money.
Do you think he tried to, or
no,
he didn't try to do it, but he...
No, he did not. He did not. I do not think it was any kind of on-purpose thing. It was just crazy timing.
It's like when Elaine hit the who? Who did Elaine hit?
Who did Elaine hit? Oh, Elaine hit the crazy band of teenagers.
No. Crazy band of teenagers. No.
Yeah, they were chasing from the toll booth when they hit the big.
Oh, no.
They borrowed Gary's car.
That was George who was driving there.
That's right. So who did Elaine hit?
And they were going to sue.
Showed up.
Huh?
I would have lost lunch.
You did lose lunch. I'm going to pull it. You're going to see that you bet me lunch. He really doesn't think. Now, are you bullshitting me, or you really don't think you bet lunch? Okay.
We need a whiteboard just to track that.
We need to get our whiteboard just for lunches.
Not even on the air.
Yes. No, not on the air. Well, I don't know if he did it on the air. Did he? Did he bet lunch on that?
I don't know. Well, like I said, I don't think Tom said. Yeah,
I'll bet you lunch that he bet lunch.
No, you said that.
You said it, but I didn't say okay.
Yes, you did. You bet lunch.
What did I say? I said,
I'm going to pull it. I'll pull the video.
Did I say, okay, I'll take you up on that?
You said bet. Well, you said something along those terms.
is obviously the greatest.
$1,000.
But yours could be pretty good too.
He owes me lunch for Kalen Eccles, Jim Ross, the carpet guy.
Online at khow.com.
Whether or not Dan was actually an instigator. And then he owes me the lunch for the lunch.
Just because he argued.
See this ancient riverbed, see where
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. We have Sean Olson with us from the Olson Law Firm doing employment law. Okay? And then we're going to get to all of your calls, though. Eleanor, you're next. Go ahead, Eleanor.
Hi, Tom.
What's going on?
Hey, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I got laid off of a job. It's been a little while now, but and so I've been applying for a whole bunch of different jobs. And I've noticed now when you're applying that it asks you if you have a disability, and it wants you to answer, yes, no, or that you don't want to answer. And I've put in, tons and tons of applications. I have a good background. I just feel like if I put yes, that I'm automatically weeded out. And if I put I don't want to answer, I feel like I'm being weeded out. Is that just something that's recently, like?
Well, what is your disability? What is your disability?
Well, I'm a diabetic. And
Is that classified?
In that list.
Is that classified as a disability?
In that list, it is.
Oh, I think that's a ridiculous question. Do they say why they want to know this?
No, and a lot of the companies that I've been applying to have that same question. So, I almost feel like I'm being discriminated against right away. I mean, I'm not sure how employers are looking at that when they're getting our resumes. I just, and I'm afraid to answer the question no, because if for some reason, they would call me in and I'd get hired. If something happened at the job and I had answered no, that I'd have some kind of repercussion.
Well, let me ask you this.
I know that you have an employment
Yeah,
lawyer.
and he's here right now. Go ahead. What do you think, Sean? This sounds highly unusual.
It is a bit unusual. It's certainly something I would never encourage an employer to do, is to ask that kind of question on an application, because you're just opening yourself up for a violation of the ADA if you're using the answer to that question to weed people out. I guess I'd ask you, do you consider your diabetes to be a disability? Does it impact your ability to work?
No, and that's the thing. I have a great track record.
Well, and if that's the case, I would encourage you to say no on the application. I don't have a disability that's going to impact my ability to work for you. And I don't think...
I just want to make sure that if I do that, like I said, that there could be no repercussions to me later.
Well, I certainly...
I think I know why they're asking. I think they're asking so they don't violate the ADA. I really do. I don't think they're weeding people out. They'd be insane to do that. They're leaving themselves wide open. If anyone ever went into their employment records and said, like if the Department of Justice or someone did an investigation and found that all the ones with the disabilities were the ones not hired, my God, they're just asking for a paper trail of denial. So
and I thought it was a little bit unusual because they have things like diabetes, schizophrenia, just,
what kind of work is it?
Well, most of the companies that I'm applying to are like medical device, pharmaceutical type companies, because that's really what my background is. But I've applied to some other types of customer service jobs that I've also seen those questions being asked. So that's why, I understand that, the ADA, they want to know if somebody has a disability and that they have to hire a certain amount of people with a disability. I personally, because I take care of my diabetes very well, don't consider myself disabled, but...
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, if they're simply asking you do you have a disability and you don't believe you do under the law, I would say no, I don't. You're not being untruthful, and so they're not going to be able to get you for being untruthful sometime down the road.
Well, and there, and like I said, it does say yes, no, and I don't want to answer this question.
But if it says diabetes and she says no,
and it specifically asks, do you have diabetes?
Well, all it says is it says a disability is considered these types of disabilities, and diabetes is on the list.
Wait, you have more than one employer asking this?
Oh yeah, I've had several on from the applications that I've been filling
I
out.
have never heard of this before. Is this a trend?
That's why I was wondering if it was a new law, because I know that in the past they've asked questions, you know, do you consider yourself having a disability? Yes, no, whatever, and they allow you to say yes, I do. And
but here they're specifically mentioning, like, do you have to go down the list and check yes and no to each one?
No, it just says a list.
Oh.
It says, you know, we consider these types of diseases disabilities. And diabetes is in the list, but like I said, the list is very broad, and it's you know, it has things like schizophrenia.
No, I understand.
Mental issues.
I am baffled by this.
But I've seen it.
Give me an example of
a.
I'd like to have an example of a company asking this question.
Well, I hate to mention it, but I will. DaVita. DaVita is a very, you know, respected company. It's a huge medical device kidney operation here in Denver. Yes, and when you apply on their website under the disability section, it asks you that question.
Weird. DaVita. Well, you heard what Sean had to say. Kerry, what's happening with you, Kerry?
Hi, Tom. I've got a little something different as far as a legal problem.
Yeah.
I'm going through what I guess would be termed a no good deed goes unpunished situation.
What happened?
I moved in with a woman about 5 years ago, mainly out of convenience for both of us. We had both worked at Walmart, and she was in a very bad living situation. She was living with a daughter who was selling drugs out of an apartment building, and it was just a matter of time before she was going to go to jail. So
okay, so you both moved in together, and what happened?
She moved into my house. We lived together there for, we've lived in that same house for about a year. Then I moved to another, it's a mobile home park, moved to another apartment. She moved with me. We haven't had a physical relationship as far as dating since the first year. But now I finally got her out of my house after 4 years of her not working. And
wait, she didn't pay you rent in 4 years?
She hasn't paid rent in 4 years. We split everything the first year. And as I said, her daughter did end up going to prison, and we ended up taking in her 2 grandchildren, who were 1 and 3 at the time. I finally got her out of my house via eviction in October of last year, and I am now being sued for divorce, claiming that we are common law married.
And what does she want?
She wants half of everything. She wants half of my house, which...
But wait, did you have the house before you got married?
No, this is a house I had bought after we were together. We were never married.
Okay, I understand. I understand. I shouldn't have used that term. Whether you're married or not is for the state to decide once she's taking it to court. She's saying you were married.
Did you file taxes with her?
That is the only thing we did. We did file
Hold on.
taxes.
Did you put... I mean, I don't know how else you say it. That's all the proof she needs that there's a common law marriage. That's one of the first things they go to. Half. You got a problem here. We can talk about it.
The Stem Cell Institute.
That's the big one, man. It's almost impossible to get over that one.
Yeah, we tell the IRS.
We had a guy call yesterday on it. Same thing. Listen to this one. He signed an affidavit saying he was married and wanted to know if that would stand up.
I've seen that before.
Sean, do you handle workman's comp?
I typically refer workman's comp.
Okay, I was just going to get my workman's comp expert on if you did.
Oh, yeah, bring them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going to know what it means.
Okay.
A short drive to one of their seminars on regenerative medicine. You need to attend one of these seminars. It could be a life-changing experience. Call 888-628-1899 to register for one of the upcoming seminars. For more information,
I didn't understand why he said you get it out of convenience. Out of convenience of what? She didn't pay rent.
Once again, call 888-628-1899
Probably to get well.
to register for one of
And he
the
said, well, I thought he said it wasn't, they weren't dating.
He was getting some on the side, and he wanted to make her happy.
Talk station. More with Martino after the news on 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. KHOW, Denver.
I don't think that employer can ask those questions.
Vita was the name of it.
Vita, I mean, that's a big company. I
they've
find
done
it
everything
hard.
right.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that they'd be doing something like that.
And they wouldn't be asking as far as for insurance.
Right. I mean, they could ask that question after the fact. I mean, once she's got a job there, or even after getting an offer.
You'd think, yeah, they'd have their ducks in a row.
You would think, but sometimes people just don't.
To investigate Russia's alleged meddling in the presidential election. Opening the Senate today, McConnell said it would only impede the work
I still can't believe
currently
George
being done
did that.
by congressional committees. McConnell also cited Democrats who were complaining.
I really think he thought he was going to come in and somehow get sales. But if he wasn't, here's what threw me. I figured because he came in, he was going to say, hey, we're going to take care of this. I went out there again. This isn't right. No matter what, we're trying to deal with the state and see if they'll help out. But regardless of anything, we're going to handle it. That would have been the PR move.
That's all you.
Bam.
Yeah.
He would have got sales literally off that.
Absolutely.
I like how where he really stuck his foot in his mouth was the whole, well, it's a Medicaid one, so when I go out, how did he put this? He didn't do an evaluation like he would have done if it was a paying customer. He did a survey. So there's a survey for the Medicaid, less work, and then an evaluation for his real customers. I'm thinking, Jesus, do you realize what an asshole you sound like saying that?
Do you know when we?
You realize he actually said that he does surveys for Medicaid people, but evaluations for the Bentley Bath group.
I'm going to get Cliff Benton on for line 2 pretty quick here, okay? For $100 million.
When we first walked walked in the door, and she was coming from the hallway there. You can see, like, right there. She said,
Really?
oh. I never seen the tub. I never seen the tub.
I couldn't believe it.
You didn't have to go back and look and stuff.
She was, and the tape measure actually fell down a little. She around was like 65, 61, and it didn't even get, she's got a hernia that sticks out on top of everything you see there. She's got a hernia on top of it. Popping. Oh my God, it's so weird. She's like this big, and then there's this other big lump coming out of her. When he was giving her the sponge bath, he was like, oh my God, look at this hernia.
Looks like a goiter.
It's a goiter. That's right, that woman had the goiter. Do you remember that one? The woman with the goiter? Oh, we'll kill you when we do our Seinfeld.
So do you know which one Louis Lane hit? And then he was going to sue her?
Why? The Chinese guy.
Exactly. Chinese
Wang.
delivery guy. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
very good. And I wasn't going to get sued.
She always has issues with them.
And I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We are here solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints to make your life just a little easier. We have with us today Sean Olson from the Olson Law Firm. He does employment law. And we've been talking about all kinds of employment issues. If you missed the first hour of the show, a follow-up with Bentley Baths and George Bentley in the studio, I urge you to go to Facebook or YouTube for the archive so you can see that, or KHOW or iHeart Radio to listen to the first hour of the show. It was unbelievable. Now, let's go to a case here. I want to take somebody about workers' comp because we have an expert listening that I'm going to bring up. This is Anthony. He has a workers' comp case he wants to talk about, so let's bring up Cliff Enton from the Enton Law Firm, and Cliff is on our referral list at referralist.com. Hi, Cliff. How are you, sir?
I'm well. Yourself?
Good. Anthony has a workers' comp question. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yes, sir. My case in December of 2016, December 22nd, actually. I was at work. I was 16 feet in the air, and we were doing some work inside. The ladder slipped out from underneath me. I had a massive concussion.
And this was in 2015, 1/5?
No, 16.
Okay.
Okay, so this
happened
past December.
16. And I had a massive contusion of my left breast and a chelar neck fracture in my right ankle. I go to the doctor. They stitch me up. and let me drive home. I don't even remember driving home. All this time, the doctor lets me go back to work with no restriction. Keep telling him every time I went back, there's something wrong with my ankle. He finally
When did he allow you to go back to work?
The next day with no restriction.
Okay, so what happened as a result?
I just kept weekly. I would have to go back and see him. Finally, after the 5th week, after arguing with him, I got an MRI approved. It comes back that I had a talar neck fracture. After all that stuff happened, they found out that I had a massive concussion, of course, the hematoma, and since then, I've been nothing but harassed at work, and they're slowly just trying to kick me out. And I don't really know what to do.
Well, let me ask you this. With your workers' comp case, was that all closed out?
No. It's still, I'm was listening to you, and I'm leaving the doctor as I'm listening to you. They're trying to say that I'm missing appointments, and I went to an appointment right now that the workers' comp said that I had missed. The doctor wrote me a note right there saying, what the hell are you making this guy go to appointments that he never missed?
All right, who's the company, the carrier?
Pinnacle.
Yeah, we figured.
Well,
yeah, and,
I do an awful
and they are
lot
treating
with
me
Pinnacle.
horribly.
Okay, so do you have an attorney, Anthony?
Yes.
Well, what is he saying, or she saying?
Well, I just barely obtained this attorney, so not much right now. I didn't want to go there, but the company that I work for is making me go there.
What do you mean making you?
They can't make you go to an attorney.
Well, I know that. I said it wrong.
You mean they're making it difficult, so you need an attorney, is what you're saying?
Let's just say before December 22nd, I was the best next thing to cherry pie. Right after that, the specialist on my leg, after I got the MRI approved, gave me 6 weeks off. He wanted me not to be on my ankle at all.
Okay, but listen, here's the deal. Whether you're injured or not, or any of that, it really boils down to, what do you want now? What do you want? Do you want the case to come to a close? What do you want?
Well, I don't. What I want out of it is I want justification, because now at my work, there's nobody allowed to talk to me. I'm being isolated.
Well,
okay, hold on.
Do you go to a work comp lawyer or an employment lawyer?
You see, I don't know which lawyer to go to, because...
Well, did you retain somebody? Did you sign a contract? Or did you just get a consultation?
I just got a comp right now, but it seems like
you haven't
it's going to civil, too.
So you haven't actually signed up with an attorney yet?
Well, actually, no. I just got consulted.
Okay, then maybe you ought to call Cliff Denton off the air and talk to him. But the issue you have may not be a workers' comp issue. It may be an employment issue. I mean, for example, I don't know how you think about this, Cliff, but if they're shunning him at work or treating him like crap, is that something workers' comp handles?
Yes and no. I mean, you can't engage in retaliation against an employee who has filed a work comp claim. That is not legal. You cannot do that. Now, obviously you can't go to the adjuster can't make the employer be nice. Even the administrative law judges can't make people treat you nice at work. So in that respect, if you're getting that kind of retaliation, it's sort of an employment issue. But I think you've got also some serious work comp issues. And I find that once you get an attorney, an experienced attorney, whether it be me or anybody else that does a lot of work comp, a lot of times then they stop screwing around with you, to say it in plain English.
So, Anthony, you ought to retain an attorney. I can't tell you any better than that. I mean, now I want to ask Sean, though. I want to ask Sean Olson a question. And, by the way, Cliff, he's on our referral list at referralist.com, and I'll give you his number, Cliff Enton.
Tom, can I give that out?
Yeah.
303-333-2222.
Wow. Yeah, it's 303.
333.
It's 333 and then 2222.
Sure that's not a taxi?
Yeah. Now, Sean Olson, what if he's being retaliated against or they're treating him like crap? When does it become a hostile work environment?
Well, being retaliated against...
Or is that another term that has no meaning?
The hostile work environment? No, it does. Typically, it doesn't have a meaning in this sort of context. In this context, you know, you're talking about retaliation for exercise of his rights under the Workman's Comp statute. And that's a violation of public policy here in Colorado. It's one of those few exceptions to the at-will premise that we normally operate in the employer-employee relationship. So if they're retaliating against him for exercising his rights under Workman's Comp, the Colorado Supreme Court said that is a violation of public policy in this state.
But you'd have to prove that.
You'd have to prove that. Right.
So, Anthony, do you have any kind of proof that they're treating you differently because of the workers' comp?
I have exact proof.
What do you have as proof?
A friend that I work with that is there said that nobody at work is allowed to talk to me anymore.
Wow, that's
They are
weird.
They're not allowed to get in contact with me even after work. They're telling these other employees.
Well,
even after work, they're not allowed to talk to me.
That's weird. That's weird.
Oh, it's I'm tripping out.
What you ought to do is you ought to call, seriously, Cliff Enton for the workers' comp, see what he thinks about that. And then if he thinks you ought to go to Sean Olson for employment law, get a consultation there. I mean, there are cases to be made for hostile work environments, so you may have to do two separate lines of defense or lines of action. 303-713-TALK. Now, Sean Olson is at 303-586-7297. If you have any employment questions at all, you can give us a call, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, or problems of any kind, we'd gladly take them. Right now, Kelly wants to talk about it again.
Right now, I'd like to speak with somebody.
Okay, I'm talking to you. What's going on?
Hi, Tom.
Yes, what's going on?
I had a gas leak in my mobile home. I called in somebody as soon as possible because it was a pretty bad gas leak. Anyway, I'm trying to find out who is responsible because it is a privately owned mobile home park. The gas leak was coming from underneath my mobile home.
Okay.
I've only been here 3 years. I bought it brand new, first time.
Okay, I'll tell you who. Okay? If it's the service line that goes from your mobile home to the main, you're usually responsible for that. And if it's the main line, the mobile home park or the owner would be responsible for that, unless the gas company did it, then they would be responsible. So is it in the main line or the service line?
It was not done properly at the time. It was.
Where is the leak? In your service line or in the main line?
Now that would be through Apple. Now I can get any information you might need.
Through who?
But Apple is who did the servicing, who got here.
Apple on our referral list, that Apple?
Yes.
You mean Apple Heating and Air?
Yes.
And they said you had a gas leak?
Yes.
And did they say where it was coming from?
Yes, they did find out. It took them all day, but they did.
Where did they say it's coming from?
Underneath the mobile home.
That sounds like it's your problem there. You would have to fix that. I think. In a mobile home park, it might be different, but are you renting that space?
No. Yes, I am from them.
Okay, then it's their problem. If you don't own it, you're just renting the space.
I own the mobile home.
But you're
and
renting
paying
the
lot fee, right?
Then I think they're responsible. They have to keep that infrastructure up because they're renting it out.
Okay.
So the mobile home park, Kelly, do you understand? It's like they're renting out campsites, basically, or they're renting out home sites. They are the ones that maintain the distribution of gas, the distribution of electric, and the distribution of water unless otherwise arranged with a sewer and water district or with a utility company. So it could be either way, but most of the time on a private park, it would be the owner, or possibly, no, it would be the owner because there is no HOA when it comes to a trailer park.
I think Kelly's the one that ended up paying the bill of $3,000, right, Kelly?
Kelly, did you ended up fixing it and paying for it?
Yes.
Well, I would sue their mobile home park in small claims court. I'm telling you, you shouldn't have paid. It's too late now. They're not going to, they're not going to talk to us. She paid. You got to sue them in small claims court for that $3,000 back. You don't have to maintain that infrastructure. Now, your lease should spell stuff out like that, but I doubt they could ever extend your responsibility to a gas line underneath their park. It sounds impossible to me. Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. You heard a woman say, hey, I want to get an equity loan and pay off some of these problems I have. Her mother, overdraft fees. Well, whether it be overdraft fees or whether it be credit cards, Ideal Home Loans can put you in a new home loan for just really a very reasonable interest rate, around 4%. I'm not sure exactly where it is right now. We'll figure it out. But here's the deal. You consolidate your bills, and then with the money you save on those monthly payments, you pay down that part of your mortgage quicker. It's a bill consolidation plan only from Ideal. You should call them to find out more about it. They also have the interest rate guarantee. If you want to refinance over the next 2 years, well, you don't have to, by the way, but if you refinance or buy, then over the next 2 years after that, they will guarantee that the rate won't go down. If the rate does go down, then they will refinance you at that new rate free of charge. Why don't you give them a call? 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
Well, the Rockies game gets underway in about an hour, and now we're...
Tinnitus in about 45.
25 from around Broadway.
I did iHeart.
Yeah, you did that one. You did Bugs Day 1 and Rockies.
At Wadsworth, only minor delays there. Another crash being reported.
Do you need those Bugs Day 1s to put in the system? Kind of updated one?
That one was a weird one. I don't know if I could cut that down. It was too long. I think what I'll do.
Do you want to do another one here just so we can record and you can cut it?
Yeah.
You do one in that third break like we were initially going to.
Good grief.
Might not be a bad idea.
I'm Bill Jones.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, let's do that then. Tinnitus is 15.
You like this one?
Of identity theft. One reason you need LifeLock. For free credit, monitoring, and changes to your credit. LifeLock's U.S.-based team helps you 5 issues. Sign up fast at LifeLock.com. Use promo code ROOK to save 10%.
Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center has some unique treatments for tinnitus that no one else has. They also have some
very unique hearing aids to help you with hearing loss or tinnitus or both. Now, the new tinnitus research is called Desincra, and they're claiming to have a permanent solution for tinnitus. It's wonderful. And I'm going through that treatment right now. You can too if you qualify. Your tinnitus has to be in a certain frequency range. You should call them to find out if you're having any ringing in the ears. But they do have other solutions as well. And they're the only ones I know that do the free, no-obligation hearing aid test drive. All you have to do is call them for hearing loss or tinnitus or both. 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. Their website is helpforringing.com.
Hey there, Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. There's absolutely no reason why right now can't be your time to get started on a beautiful new kitchen or that awesome bath you've always wanted. Right, Todd? Of course, Dad. With our unique cabinet resurfacing, they'll get that beautiful new kitchen. And
When are the people from BioT coming on?
And in their shorter time, too.
Tomorrow.
Well, you got that right, Todd. But if an all-new kitchen is on...
What people? How many?
From the bottom up,
Is it one of the doctors?
Let's do BioT in 30.
Special room is back.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping they don't just send the ad guy. The doctors, what we want. What we want.
That's what we do. Whether it's a tub to shower conversion or a whole new 5-piece bath, our family business will make it special.
I'll be curious. That'll be good. I got questions for them.
15.
Give us a call and see what our family can do for your family. Kitchens, baths, counters.
Kitchens, baths, counters.
to 8370 or DoneRightKitchens.com.
Tomorrow, a very special show. We're going to have the people from BioT in, one of the doctors. BioT. I can't tell you how many people are amazed when I tell them I'm 63, or I'll be 64 in a few months, and I have the stamina and health of a 40-year-old, thanks to BioT. The first step to health, energy, focus, and happiness is BioT, because it naturally replenishes testosterone. There's been recent research on testosterone for both men and women. It's essential. It's an essential building block for both. And it can convert to estrogen, which you want it to do in certain amounts. And of course, the BioT people will make sure you're doing the right ratios. And they do the most natural hormone replacement that you can find, and that is a pellet therapy, like little grains of rice, and they get implanted right under the skin. They dissolve over 4 to 6 months. You only have to do it 2 to 3 times a year. You don't have to take shots or messy creams. They're not as effective and definitely not as natural. That's biotmedical.com to find a doctor near you. I go south here to Lone Tree. They have doctors all over the metro area. It's truly life-changing. I can tell you from personal experience. biotmedical.com. B-I-O-T-E medical.com.
Your shot at $1,000 now. Text the word BANK to 200-200. You'll receive a confirmation text.
I learned I can literally build a new VM from a backup in any state in about 15 minutes now. I mean, I learned this shit.
FrankDuran, just remember that name, whether you're buying or selling real estate. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Got another review on him today, and I get them all the time. When I met Frank, I couldn't believe it. I had to sell my home. We had a family emergency. He sold it in not a week. He sold it in 3 days. He also cleaned it and staged it. We couldn't have done it without him. That's the kind of service you get from Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Okay, so Sean Olson is with us, employment attorney. If you have any questions, we went through some. What is an unjust termination?
Well, an unjust termination under the law isn't something that most people think it is. It's not, in Colorado, anybody can be fired for any reason or no reason at all.
Including nepotism.
Including nepotism.
I'm going to hire my brother. It doesn't matter. But when
it becomes unlawful when you're being terminated or treated differently because of your race, your sex, your nationality, one of the protected classes along the way. Then it becomes a wrongful termination under the law.
But only for one of those things.
Generally speaking. There are some exceptions, public policy exceptions and things of that nature.
Where does gender stand now? Like a transgender or someone who is gay, that's not really gender, that is sexual preference. But is that protected? I know that people wanted it to be protected. Is it?
It's protected under Colorado law. Much of it is. But it's not. It doesn't. Federal law does not grant the same protections.
So it's state by state.
Correct.
All right. 303-713-8255. We got lines open. Carrie, you had a problem here because you lived with a woman for 5 years and filed taxes together, joint as married. You kicked her out by eviction. Now she's claiming you owe her half of all that stuff you guys accumulated when you were married.
That is the issue. The one thing is I got advised by my tax.
It doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter.
I was going to file as single and claim them as...
It doesn't matter what you're going to do. Didn't matter what you're going to do. It's what you did. Really, it doesn't matter. Now, she's going to use that as her argument. But you can still defend yourself. You can still go in and say, I refuse to believe we were married. I never, ever, ever introduced her as my wife.
Never.
Now, did you commingle finances?
No. She has nothing in her name. Everything's in my name. No joint bank accounts.
Well, no, I didn't say that. Hold on. Where did her money go?
Her money was hers and my money was mine.
Oh, okay. So she didn't deposit money into a household account?
No, sir.
Did you charge her rent?
We split everything 50-50 the first year, and she got hurt at work. She got a settlement from Walmart, but she was off of work for almost a year, and I basically kind of paid the bills because she was waiting on a settlement, and then when she got the settlement...
All right. One important question here, Carrie. What's your wife's name?
Her name is Brenda.
See, I got you. I got you.
There you go. Thank you.
Say, if we were in court, you're screwed.
Well,
I just got you. That's Perry Mason right there. That's a Perry Mason deal.
You know, I'm slow. That took me a minute.
Anyway.
I recently become unemployed in November.
Yeah.
I got served in November from her for divorce. She has an attorney.
Now, you definitely have to, no, really, you really have to get an attorney to look at this.
I
This
called
is
legal
serious.
aid, and
You don't get legal aid for this.
because I'm unemployed. I don't have an income, and they took all my information down, all my finances, and they heard the whole situation as to what I was going through.
Sean, would they ever give legal aid for that?
Well, they asked me her name was. It's a referral service for an attorney. Well, I guess she had called in, and they referred her to a private attorney in Littleton who was representing her pro bono. And
Wait a
therefore,
minute. She's getting an attorney free?
She's getting an attorney free, and therefore I cannot get referred by legal aid to an attorney because they call it a conflict of interest. And I asked, well, how can it be a conflict because they just refer her to a private agency? Well, they have all her information. So it would be a conflict of interest. But prior to them asking her name and looking up that she had already applied with them, they took all my information down as per the case and my finances and everything. And then at the end, they asked me what her name was and went and looked it up and found out that she had applied for the legal aid. And they
Right. I can see why. They do that. They don't want any appearance of conflict.
Well, how would it be a cause if they refer me to a different attorney?
I understand. I don't understand. Under the legal aid scenario, I don't understand it because you're both going to different firms.
Yeah,
and they are not the ones actually representing, they're not the ones actually representing you, legal aid. So I don't understand why. If it's a big law firm, they do it all the time. They turn clients away. In fact, there's a strategy that many men use when they're getting a divorce. They go out and talk to the top 10 law firms, give them all their information, and do an initial consultation. Do you know why?
That she can't use it.
That's right.
Of course.
Even if you don't hire them.
Now, my other question is, I believe that she has prior relationships. She has 4 kids with 3 other men.
What does that have to do with you, though?
Paid taxes in the 1980s and 90s with at least one other, if not 2 other men.
How old is your wife?
She's 40.
Gotcha again.
He thinks it's his wife. That's the main problem.
Okay, hold on a second. We got a comment. Kevin, go ahead.
Hey, guys. Just a quick comment is that he had mentioned that she's going to get a settlement or got a settlement. So if really she's going after him, he could go after her for half of that settlement. I don't know what the settlement was.
Hold on.
I bet it's spent.
Carrie, what settlement is she going after?
That settlement was 4 years ago. It was $10,000. It's been gone for 4 years. That was nothing. It just basically caught up everything that she was behind. But my question is, if she is filed jointly with somebody previously, this would be in Arizona, would that not make her legally married to them? And not legally able to even marry me, whether it be through the courts, through a church.
That's possible. That's possible.
A divorce.
It would negate your common law if she was married prior.
Well, if she filed jointly, then that's the only thing she has that she is saying that is.
Well, hold on. In Arizona, it may not be a common law marriage. It could be a common law marriage here for you, but not Arizona for her.
How would I?
They have different laws.
Yes, I believe it's a common law state, Arizona. But my question is, how would I find out filing status of taxes if she filed jointly with anybody else other than asking her under oath when she's on the stand in court?
That's the way you would do it.
Search this?
You would have to ask her under oath or do subpoena of some kind, all of her tax records.
My court date is June 20th. My question is,
where are her kids right now?
Her kids are all over Colorado.
How old?
Couple back east. They're all adults. I think her youngest is 17. She has 26, 28, and 30-year-old.
In Colorado. In Colorado, she's here. She's divorcing you. Do you have any evidence of any, I don't know, where she said she wasn't married?
No. I know she's got her maiden name. She's never took anybody's name. She never took my name. She's used her maiden name all her life.
This is just going to have to be. This is just going to have to be fought in the courts, man. I don't know what to tell you on this. This is a tough one.
And for what it's worth, Tom, Arizona does not recognize common law marriages that are contracted in the state of Arizona.
So therefore, bro, You don't have her on that one. Paul, what's happening with you? Paul.
Yeah, I was wanting to ask the question. I have a house I rented out for the past 5 years, and last year I had a tree trimmer come out, trim the trees, and a neighbor next door came out and said, ask the tree trimmers trim some of it that's on his side. And the trimmer told him, yeah, just move your equipment out of the way, move your vehicles and equipment out of the way, and I'll trim it. Well, he moved his truck, and the tree trimmer trimmed the one tree, but there was some in the back, and he didn't move his trailer. And the tree trimmer couldn't find the guy, so he just, after he finished his job, he took off. And the renter told me that the neighbor next door said, hey, that he didn't finish trimming the tree. And so he approached me, and I said, well, it's too late. He didn't move his equipment. And so now I have the renter out, and I'm putting it up for sale. The guy came over next door and said, hey, you know, what about this tree? I said, I ain't trimming it. I had a guy here last year, and you didn't move your trailer.
Right.
Well, so he told me anybody that comes and look at this house for sale, I'm going to tell them that that's a lawsuit waiting.
What a jerk. What a jerk.
Well, I'm just wondering, is that some kind of slander towards me or some kind of extortion? If I don't trim his tree, he's going to, you know, tell someone that...
Well, first of all, is it his tree or yours?
It's mine.
Well, then why'd you say trim his tree?
I'm sorry, trim my tree, but it's on his side.
Well, if it's on his side, you should trim it.
Well, I had the guy there to do it, but
you can still do it if he moves his trailer.
Well, then I'm going to have to pay for another guy to come out and trim the tree. He was already there, and it would have already been done.
Okay, no, it's not slander. He can tell them, if you move here, I'm going to sue you over that. Yes, he can. To which all they have to say is, who cares? I have homeowners insurance. That's what they're for.
He could put a banner up if he wanted to.
Yeah. 303-713-TALK. Al Aramis at Pro Auto Care has a lady special, $28.95 oil change. Al, what does it include?
Well, it's the synthetic blend oil, which I think is just a better quality oil. It doesn't break down. We use the Kendall product, which is really outstanding. Premium filter. We're going to fill all your fluids, test your charging battery, look the whole car, top your air pressures, and if you'd like, with that oil change, wiper blades, which right now we're using them like crazy, we'll throw those on for the front on standard sizes for $5. You can't go to the store and buy quality blades for $5 a pair of them.
Plus the oil change, $28.95. That is incredible with synthetic blend oil. There's 2 locations for Pro Auto Care. I've been to both. They also give roadside assistance in between every service and repair. Roadside assistance. 303-PRO-AUTO is the number. They're near Evans and I-25, near Bowles and Santa Fe. 2 locations, 303-PRO-AUTO, on the website, 303proauto.com.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
This report is brought to you by LifeBlock.
Well, with a...
Yes, I have an appointment downtown at 3.
Okay, but you're around until you have to leave for that? Okay, great, because I need you and Jeremy Trout wanted to talk to you, so I'm going to have to come back.
She's found on 6th Avenue in Lakewood.
No, Mark.
Lodge with only minor delays.
What?
More serious crashes. It's I-70 westbound at Peoria. We have backups from that stop and go back up back to Chambers.
All right, Denver spot in 30.
The thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Look for a high.
What does that really say?
55 degrees.
What are you talking about?
And overnight,
Jeremy
lows
Trout
around 45. Currently in Denver.
You said I would do it.
I
said we might do something digital for a realtor.
I'm
Give it out me.
15.
Al.
Well, we've talked about this. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Because Frank Mann does digital.
Oh, that's
He does
true.
both. He does everything.
That's exactly what we need to answer is we just did digital for Frank.
Denver spot in 5.
Step fast at LifeLock.com. Use promo code.
All right. Guess what I was doing? I was flexing. Do you know why, Mark? Because I'm doing a commercial now for Stem Cell Therapy, Stem Cell Institute of America. I can definitely say I am feeling some improvement in my lower back. I have not felt anything on the shoulder yet. I don't know if I will. I'm following all the rules. I didn't do extreme heat. I didn't do anti-inflammatories. I went through stem cell therapy. I'm waiting to see what the space in my, the joint space in my knee is. I didn't have any problem with my knee, but he said this would be preventive, and he would show me in imaging how it increases joint space. But I had this done because I wanted to go through it. I wanted to see how Stem Cell Institute of America operates. And if you want to know how they operate, what you ought to do is go to their free seminar, okay? This will do you no harm. In fact, you'll learn so much about stem cells. I urge you to stop and listen and to attend one near you in Denver, the Tech Center, Littleton, Boulder, or other areas. You need one of these. It could change everything. Now, stem cells are packed with human growth cells that go into a problem area and reproduce themselves as healthy and start growing tissue again. Start living life again. Call for more information to sign up for the seminar. 855-262-4040. 855-262-4040. And if you want to go online and look at some stuff, it's stemcelltherapyforpain.com.
This Saturday, America's Wealth Management Show will air at noon for must-know retirement strategies.
Filled it with Frank. Tell him Frank bought the digital. I said that to him like 6 weeks ago or whatever.
To discover the necessary financial planning.
So snooze, you lose.
She thinks the same guy is calling all the time today. She goes, I think the same guy is calling with different problems today. I don't know. It's a doozy.
First, Excel Roofing. Jay Brenton, my friend, and it's been 20
Carrie came on twice and come along.
Jay, first things first. When a customer...
Well, we've got the same guy again? I didn't understand what you said.
No, he was there 15 minutes ago, then you brought it back up.
6400. Even before you call your insurance company, we'll do an inspection and let you know if you have a claim.
And this is important because every claim is made, even if they don't pay you a dime, will count against you, and your rates can go up.
And Tom, we do more than the roof itself. We make sure that the roof will last and be energy efficient with proper attic insulation and ventilation.
I know when I needed a new roof, I called Excel. You should too. 303-761-6400. That's 761-6400 or excelroofing.com.
All right, let's do plumb line in 30.
Got a gun. I was amazed by the outpouring of love from fans, and I wanted to do more. That calling led me to start Janie's Fund. Janie's Fund supports proven programs for restoring lives rocked by abuse, conducted by National
15
Youth Villages. If someone you know is suffering from abuse, call the National Abuse Hotline at 1-800-422.
5 seconds.
30. Lend your voice and your support
by visiting janiesfund.org today.
Where do you go for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, or drains? I'll tell you where to go. Plumbline Services, and you ought to get there as soon as possible. I mean, call them as soon as possible. Why? Because Plumbline will come out and inspect your air conditioning system for just $39 complete with everything needed to make sure it's up and running properly. Now, if you have any serious problems, they'll give you a full written report. They will do minor service, though, and this is the important thing. They give you a no-breakdown guarantee if they find it to be in great condition. Now, in addition, of course, to their wonderful service to check out an air conditioner system, if you need one, they have an offer now for both plumbing and heating together. If you get a furnace and AC together, you can save more than $2,000 with various savings, including financing for 3 years at no interest. Also, they have a 93 or free drain special to clean out your drains for just $93, or it is free. And they have their own drain division. No subcontractors there. If you need them for any plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, or drains, call now, 303-586-1086, 303-586-1086, plumlineservices.com.
From reality to your reaction. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, who should I take? Did you say in line 1? Who is it? I don't see it on my call screen.
Oh, dear. Her name is Caroline.
Caroline, what's going on?
Well, Tom, I'm down to one bar, but I was listening to your radio show. I've been having a little bit of hard time with communication, but I was listening that you have tinnitus. Is that correct?
It's tinnitus, yes.
Tinnitus. Yeah.
I have a form of tinnitus that I got after something called mastoiditis. It was an infection in the mastoid bone behind the ear. And
Yeah,
then
I'm very familiar with mastitis. Dogs get it. But my question is,
thanks.
You have somebody fielding your calls for you, and I've been having problems with communication, but I've been listening to KHOW virtually 24/7 if I can, and it seems like today all of your male callers have the same voice.
Really?
It sounds like you might have a clone invasion, like somebody keeps calling in with the same
You think
voice.
it's somebody like pranking us?
Well, yeah, I think you might be getting punked, because I think you might be having the same male caller calling into your show.
It didn't sound like it to me. I'm pretty astute at that. I usually know voices.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I mean, that's fine. I can keep my ears out for that. How long have you been listening?
Listening to your show?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been listening to KHOW for over a year now.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. I don't know. I mean, guys, what do you think?
I think she's nutty.
No. Usually, we know when we hear the same voice because we've had people try that on us. Remember that? That one guy that kept calling in for free stuff?
Oh, with the accident, yeah.
And with his wife?
Remember he said...
the 2 kids?
He said that it was a big snowstorm and he slid, and then he sent his pictures of the accident, and it was a sunny day out without any ice or snow.
Yeah, he left out that important detail. Hey, Chris, what's happening? Chris.
Hey there.
What's going on with you?
Well,
hey, is this the same guy?
No, yeah, it's not the same guy.
No, I've called in. First time caller here.
All right.
I'm hoping you can give me some advice.
Okay.
See if I even have a case here.
What's happening?
Did you hear about the house that exploded up in Firestone, Colorado recently?
Yes.
So I live right across the street and about 3 down from them.
Ah, did your house suffer a concussion?
Probably, yeah. It definitely shook us quite. It was quite the explosion.
Did you feel it?
Oh, yeah. They felt it like...
what happened? I didn't hear about this.
So it turns out Indigo turned a well on back in end of January that hadn't been on in a long time, and they didn't cap it properly. So turns out gas had been leaking into the soil and eventually made its way through that house's sump pump and whatever that drain's called in the basements. I don't know the technical term for it. But,
it's a ground drain or floor drain, but...
Yeah.
So what happened? Or a French drain,
and
it depends.
Was odorless. Yeah, the French drain. And so it was odorless gas at that point because they didn't...
So how is this affecting you? Are you wondering if you have any problems?
Yeah, well, I mean...
You should have your foundation inspected. That's usually where the problems show up.
Yep, so that was one thing we were going to look into.
For sure, and then your insurance could cover that. Your insurance could cover that unless it's considered diastrophism, or what they call, that's their technical term for earthquake. And if it's considered movement of the earth, it would not be covered. But I don't know if a bomb, not a bomb, but an explosion would be considered earthquake, because they consider flooding when water hits the ground and flows in. They might consider that an earthquake and not cover it. I'm not sure. We could find out, but you should get your foundation inspected. That's the main deal.
Yes, so I was definitely going to do that. And then one other thing, like obviously there was some negligence on their part. They didn't pressure test the well. They've admitted to it. I mean, right now,
but you have nothing. You have nothing to sue for yet.
Okay.
In other words,
kind of my
right. I mean, you have to have a loss in order to sue. You might live down the street and it might piss you off. It might have scared the hell out of you, but you have nothing to sue for unless you have a loss related to that event. If you do and insurance does not cover it, then you have a loss. If insurance covers it, then it would be your insurance company that would have the loss, and they could subrogate against anyone there. So that's the way you do it. Aaron, what's happening? Aaron.
Yes, this is Aaron.
What's happening?
Well, I want to know why the calls are getting disconnected from callers that have concerns. And
what do you mean? What do you mean disconnected?
This is the third call from one of the ladies I heard talking, and she keeps getting disconnected.
I don't disconnect people.
I
think the nuts are coming out.
He just got disconnected.
What was he talking about?
Listen, I don't know. Aaron, that was a little joke. I cut you off. Listen, Aaron, we've not hung up on anyone, though, so I don't know what you're talking about. Really, I'm serious.
Sure. My phone just hangs up. Okay.
No, I just put you on hold as a joke just then, but I don't hang up on people.
That's fine. That's a great broadcast.
All right, we'll see you, Aaron. Do me a favor, okay? Tune in. Do you go to the knob on the radio and you turn it, please, like a full 360. Rebecca, what's happening? Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, how are you?
Good, Rebecca. What's going on?
So I have a car that I just bought, and I'm living at a place right now, and my manager towed my car illegally.
Because it was new and you didn't know it?
I have no idea why he towed it, really.
Well, don't you think it's because it was... Did he ever tow your old car?
No, it's my only car.
Okay, your only car. So you never had a car before this?
No. Well, I moved in, and then about a week later, I bought a car.
Oh, so were you supposed to register that car with the office?
Yeah, it's actually on my lease.
Did you? Oh, the car is on your lease.
Yes, it's written on my lease.
It names the car, the make and model.
Yes.
And why did he tow it?
I have no clue.
Did you ask?
Yes, he said because I had a flat tire. Okay, well, the flat tire is not affecting the car being in the parking spot.
Yeah, but here's what it says in your lease. Lost, abandoned, neglected, or something else, immobile, or something. There's something about something.
There's
it's not.
That's
why he towed. Wait, you say it's not in your lease, Rebecca?
Nope.
Now, if that's not in your lease, by the way, then you got him over a barrel. So you would have the only lease I know of that does not address vehicles in an apartment complex.
I don't understand how her vehicle's on the lease if she bought a car a week after she moved in.
I live in a motel.
This just keeps getting better.
In a motel?
Yeah.
Yes.
And she says he towed her car because it was there with a flat. He probably thought somebody abandoned it or something. I don't know.
He knew exactly whose car it was. He came to my door about 10 times telling me that I had to fix the flat tire.
Oh, he knew it was your car.
Yes, he knows exactly his
And he
car.
warned you 10 times to fix the flat. Why?
I don't know.
You know what? I don't think he can just arbitrarily tow it either just because it has a flat. So what if it has a flat? I mean, is there a rule that says if it's flat you gotta fix it and move it?
No, what? There's not.
I don't know. I mean, you're sure you never signed anything that said the vehicle has to be in, like, I don't know, operating condition?
Sure.
I wonder if one of our tow truck drivers would call in. I mean, is this a normal thing?
This is weird. So he said he had a right to tow it.
Yeah.
Well,
Is she in an apartment complex?
Motel.
No, it's a motel. At a motel.
So you don't sign a contract there when you sign a motel, but they might have wording on the... you signed something when you rented a room, right?
I did month to month here, so
I understand, but you never signed anything.
No.
Hold on. I find this hard to believe. I really do. I just find it hard to believe. I want to tell you about Paradigm Floors. Paradigm Interiors is here for you. Paradigm is over on Santa Fe, just west, on Evans, just west of Santa Fe. And they have a beautiful selection of all kinds of flooring. Now, they don't stock each and every one because they don't want to push you toward any particular floor. That's why they give you such a huge variety in their large showroom, because they can get anything you want within 2 or 3 days. They've been in business 14 years. They find that this serves them. They don't have to add cost to inventory. They just order it for you when you need it. They give you the design consulting, the purchasing help, and then a project manager to see it through from beginning to end. You can trust Paradigm Interiors to do the best job, as they've been doing in Denver since 2003. Don and Matt are the owners. Stop in and see them. You'll love them. And you'll see why there's a difference in floor covering. First, quality merchandise, always at great prices and personalized, individual attention. 303-630-9204. 303-630-9204.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center. This report is brought...
I'd like to start
affected, but I wasn't sure. Caroline, the one that was saying all the guys sounded the same today, is the same Caroline who lost her son to the compound pharmacy deal. So now she wants to talk to you about her son's death and you hanging up on her. So just so you know, that's who that is on my So pharmacy, it's a compound pharmacy.
She emails,
They mixed
she
the drug for
copies
her
me
7-year-old boy.
and
They papers.
emails.
It's apparently 1,000 times stronger than what he was supposed to have been given. Now, her attorney said there was really no link
You know what?
between his death and the medicine.
Yeah, we don't
But
want
Good
to
Day
have her.
did offer a $100,000 settlement last week, and it sent her.
If any of it, at this point, I don't even know if any of it's true.
Well, no, it made the papers.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, a couple of different papers. Really sad, but anyway.
But then her others, well, we're on audio.
Yeah.
We've heard from other family members that she's
Mike Campbell, you're a serial entrepreneur.
Really sad.
like off the deep
Who's your
end.
attorney or what?
Getting herself.
I couldn't afford an attorney, but I
She
knew
refused the settlement because then she wasn't allowed to talk about the pharmacy anymore as a part of it. But it got so bad with the attorneys, those attorneys started changing their emails.
They got rid of her.
Like, oh yeah, they literally changed their emails, so that they couldn't be reached.
Which I might have to do.
contract you ever seen.
I have to go look. I'll shoot you a text. I'll tell you the secret.
Hold yourself task. Running payroll, however, is. My fifth successful company, Patriot Software, helps small business do-it-yourselfers run payroll without needed to. Whether you have 1 or 100 employees, we make running payroll easy and provide free support.
The Rock.
PatriotSoftware.com.
He might run for the White House.
Who is?
The Rock.
Hold on.
Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair has a special you can't miss. Find, fix, or free any problem you have in your car for just $89 plus parts. That's right. They'll find any problem on your car and fix it for just $89 plus parts, or the call is free. But you get more than just free. You get a complete diagnostic report. So even if they can't fix it because it's something major like a transmission or the entire engine or something, at least you'll know and you'll get a complete written report. So look at it as find, fix, or free 89 plus parts or a free diagnostic. Now they've taken out all the unknowns. You can have confidence in this deal. Just $89 at Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair on Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth. 303-781-9858. 303-781-9858. And on my referral list at referralist.com.
A good shutdown would help make this country's wallet great again, believe me. It would also make time for a nice trip down to Mar-a-Lago. Play a little golf, have a beautiful meal, terrific. To make your wallet great again, never shut down your radio, okay?
Listen to win $1,000 every hour on the hour. Every weekday from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Of all the wallets, mine is obviously the greatest.
$1,000.
But yours could be pretty good too, okay?
On 630 KHOW. Sean Hannity.
Obama's going to get $400,000 to speak at a healthcare conference for investment banking. I guess Obama forgot about what he said about Wall Street full of fat cat bankers.
Hannity, today at 1 on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome, 303-713-TALK. You know, I think Rebecca's got a good case, Mark. I think we ought to handle it this way, Rebecca. Listen, I would, in a very nice way, ask the manager, whoever had it towed, what legal authority did you have to do that? Are there any signs in the parking lot at all? Anything about towing?
Yes, there is.
What do they say?
It just says that cars. Let me go read it really quick.
Yeah, read it to me, because that's going to be critical.
And also, the manager, I had complete permission from the manager to have my car sitting here with the tags, because the manager and the owner are different.
If you could help me out, what does it say?
It says, unauthorized vehicles will be towed without notice at owner's expense at Mile High Towing and Recovery.
Does it say what unauthorized is?
Nope.
I don't think you're unauthorized. I think you have a good case. I would go ask him first and then call us back. Suzanne will give you a callback number. You ask this. Here's what you do. I want to know on what authority you had it towed. why was my car considered unauthorized? And show me in writing where I agreed to that policy. Say those words, okay?
Now, playing devil's advocate, if you're at Walmart, King Soopers, you have a flat tire, they tell you to get it out of there 10 times.
But you're not staying there. She's
Well,
renting
that's true.
She's renting a place. She's there with her car.
Yeah.
It's not like she left it and went home. So I don't know, Sean. You're an attorney. Doesn't that sound like they have a weak case there?
It does sound like. I mean, if she's staying at the hotel, I mean, theoretically, she's got a right to keep a car there with her.
So go and ask for their authority. Where do they get the authority to tow? And then tell them to show you and where you agreed to that policy. Okay? Michael, what's happening? Michael?
Yes.
What's going on, Michael?
Okay, so I live in Colorado Springs. I had somebody while I was in the shower. I heard my diesel truck start up. So somebody was stealing it. I grabbed my pistol and ran outside. I've got a AR-15 with probably 300 rounds of ammo locked in the back underneath the seat. So at this point, I'm thinking that I need to stop this vehicle. So I try shooting out the back tires as it's leaving my driveway.
Yeah, you're going to be arrested.
You're in trouble, bro.
Because that's menacing. It's menacing at best. It could be attempted murder, but it's menacing. And I'll tell you why. Because you're not allowed to use lethal force when protecting property.
Unless if they're breaking into your house.
Well, that's not protecting property. That's protecting life and limb.
That's
right. You're not allowed to protect property with lethal force. That's just the law.
And I understand that.
And I understand why you did it, by the way. And I understand you're going to say you weren't trying to kill anybody. But I can see where they would arrest you. Now, whether you're going to get a big conviction or a big problem here, I don't know. But I can see if you are arrested why you were. So let me ask you, have you been arrested?
The first day I was not arrested. The first day they gave me, when they came out and investigated, they gave me a ticket for just a firearm in city limits. Then they came back yesterday and they told me that they decided to change the charge to a state charge for El Paso County instead.
And what's the charge?
With unlawfully discharge of a weapon, which is a Class 5 felony, and I was arrested at that point.
Were you booked and everything?
Yes, I was.
Did the guy get away with the vehicle? I didn't get that part.
Yeah, did he steal your car?
Yeah, the guy got away with the vehicle.
Did they catch him later?
They did. They did not catch him. They found the vehicle in a ditch. It's a large truck. So
I'd call there. What witnesses? If they didn't catch this guy, where's the witness here? Oh, he probably told the cops he shot it out and you put yourself in jail.
Did? Really? Who are the witnesses? Did you admit doing it?
No, there is. Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, I'm an honest guy. I didn't see. I don't think you're gonna get in big trouble. Have you ever been in trouble before? No, I'm pretty law-abiding citizen, to be honest with you. I mean, little stuff.
I mean, you got to get an attorney and defend yourself.
If there's no other witnesses, they can't force him to testify against himself in court.
He already admitted it, though. He already admitted it. That's the problem. He already admitted it to the police. They will submit his statements to the police because they advise him of his rights. Unless they did it before and then came back.
Call Lazara.
Those statements might be dirty if they did it before they charged you and didn't tell you about it. By the way, Sean Olson, 303-586-7297, Employment Law, and save all your problems for me.
Stop high energy bills before they start. Your home needs a champion. Recommended by...
in the shower.
Right. Oh, I didn't know it was a motel or a...
They don't want this guy having guns is what they're thinking. They're going, my God, this guy's crazy. Someone steals his car, he starts shooting at him.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy, though? There was an AR-15, he said, in the truck.
I'm ready for the cheese.
That's not a safe place to keep your gun, man. Is it? This guy's got all kinds of problems.
Oh, look at that.